Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Level up in one day. If you want to break off the engagement, you can. Chapter 41. Shangguan Union told the truth. Murong Feng and the other three late-stage Shantian experts also reacted at this moment. Their eyes lit up. After all, Shangguan Union is the daughter of Medicine King. Therefore, there is no need for a master in Yaowang Valley. He has always been taken care of by the King of Medicine and his uncles. What you want to learn is not just a matter of words. Moreover, there has never been anyone suitable to be Shangguan Union's master. At this moment, Lin Chen was very consistent, both in terms of demeanor and strength. Once Shangguan Union became Lin Chen's disciple. From then on, we had a very close relationship with Yaowang Valley. Being able to establish a relationship with such a powerful person can be said to be extremely beneficial to Yaowang Valley. And if Shangguan Union refuses, the man in front of him became so angry that he killed them all. Since no one from Yaowang Valley was here, they thought they could not be Lin Chen's opponent. Upon hearing Shangguan Union's words, Murong Feng and several others suddenly became anxious. She winked at Shangguan Union crazily. Shangguan Union saw it and considered this level. But she felt that Lin Chen was not such a person. But he still asked carefully, "If I don't agree, will you kill us?" Lin Chen nodded. Yes. Shangguan Union. She guessed wrong. Lin Chen actually planned to do this. Lin Chen looked at Shangguan Union and continued. "And I'm not wrong, you have a very good talent. I very much hope that you will be my apprentice, and your achievements will exceed your imagination in the future." Shangguan Union was stunned. No matter what, I feel that Lin Chen's words are a bit hard to believe. But it looks very sincere. Shangguan Union also had to think about it. Once he rejects Lin Chen, this man will most likely keep his word. Moreover, she noticed that the old Taoist priest who followed Lin Chen looked at her with an envious expression. Can Zhang Chengdao not be envious? Just because of his age, he knelt on the ground and begged Lin Chen to become a disciple, but no one agreed. It was good now that Lin Chen took the initiative to recruit a disciple, but Shangguan Union didn't agree quickly. After looking at Lin Chen carefully again, Shangguan Union felt that it would be good to be this man's apprentice. It was just that she was a little reluctant to leave Yaowang Valley in the future. But now, she couldn't help but think about this situation. He finally nodded and said, "Okay, I promise to be your disciple, but you have to give us your white jade Ganoderma lucidum so that we can take it back to save our uncle." Shangguan Union also put forward his own conditions. Lin Chen shook his head and said, "I can't give you all. I also need to save people, so let's give you half." Shangguan Union was relieved when he heard this. Half is actually enough. They were all too anxious just now and didn't expect this. It turned out that Lin Chen was not just interested in the white jade Ganoderma lucidum, but it also had its uses and wanted to use it to save people. In this case, it will be easier to discuss. Okay, the disciple pays homage to the master, but master, the disciple still needs to go back to Yaowang Valley and tell my father about the situation. Shangguan Union bowed to Lin Chen. Ding, congratulations to the host for accepting the Flame Soul Immortal Body as his disciple and receiving the mission reward, Qingyunzi Jinyi. As the system prompt sounds, Lin Chen also had an extra set of clothes in his system space. It looks like the cyan color has some mysterious patterns. Lin Chen was not in a hurry to put it on. Seeing Shangguan Union answer her question first, she nodded and said, "Okay, you can go back first, and then come to the Lin family in Yancheng to find me." Well, thank you, master. After becoming a disciple, Shangguan Union no longer thought much about it. Although she was a bit reluctant to be separated from her family later on, she was actually curious about what it would be like to be someone's apprentice. Lin Chen did not tell Guan Union about the awakening of the immortal body for the time being. It wouldn't be too late to wait until Shangguan Union came to him to directly help her awaken. Murong Feng and his junior brothers from Yaowang Valley also breathed a sigh of relief at this moment, with joy in their eyes. Not only did she successfully obtain the white jade Ganoderma lucidum, Shangguan Union also became a master of an absolutely strong man. It can be said to be a double happiness. But soon, Murong Feng and his junior brothers were stunned again. Lin Chen took several steps back in succession. "I wonder if I am dazzled." At this moment, the sword energy around Lin Chen's body had completely disappeared. His cultivation was also exposed. They just heard him talking to Guan Yunyan, but they didn't pay attention. When I noticed this at the moment, I felt like I had seen a ghost. They all came from the True Yuan realm, so they naturally know how big the gap is between the True Yuan realm and Shantian. Not to mention the strength that is enough to kill Shantian Zochin in an instant. It's simply impossible. But Lin Chen's cultivation was just a fact before them. Shangguan Yunyan had already arrived at the side of several people and took over the half-piece of white jade Ganoderma lucidum that Lin Chen broke off. At this moment, I noticed the faces of Murong Feng and others, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. She only had the body tempering realm, so naturally she couldn't see through Lin Chen's cultivation. I didn't pay much attention to these at the moment. Don't know everything at all. But just ask if you don't understand. She directly asked Murong Feng in confusion. Master Uncles, what's wrong with you? It's like being frightened. Haven't we already agreed? Could it be that my master can eat people? Yunyan. Murong Feng looked at Shangguan Yunyan with a complicated expression. Don't know how to explain this. Just follow Shangguan Yunyan's words. Your master's situation is probably more terrifying than cannibalism. Murong Feng could not see any trace of hidden cultivation in Lin Chen. His knowledge is broader than Zhang Chengdao. At this moment, I felt that Lin Chen might really be at the second level of the True Yuan realm. But this is completely confusing. He also looked at Lin Chen carefully and asked, Senior, I wonder what your current level of cultivation is. The titles were a bit unnatural, and he looked at Lin Chen cautiously as he spoke. I am now at the second level of the True Essence realm. Lin Chen didn't bother to hide it. Puff, it's actually true. Murong Feng and others almost jumped up. Shangguan Yunyan was also completely confused. He looked at Lin Chen dumbfounded. How is this possible? Zhang Chengdao was a little proud when he saw this scene. Wasn't that how he came here in the first place? Murong Feng was the first to react. My heart can only be described as shocked. He likes to travel far and wide, and he has seen many geniuses who fight across levels. But at most 1 or 2 stages can be surpassed, and those who are extremely genius monsters can only surpass 3 or 4 stages. But Lin Chen's situation could no longer be described as a terrifying monster. He simply didn't know how to express it. I can only think that there are people outside the world, and there is a sky outside the world. At this moment, Lin Chen was also speechless. These people always care about his cultivation. He also said directly, my situation is a bit special. You can't figure it out. Let's take the white jade Ganoderma lucidum and leave. Disciple, please remember to go early and come back early. After hearing Lin Chen's words, Murong Feng and the others stopped thinking about it. Just like Lin Chen said, his situation is indeed special. He left with Shangguan Yunyan, who was still in a daze. It was only when Shangguan Yunyan arrived at the cave passage that he realized what he was doing. He shouted to Lin Chen, Master, I will come to you as soon as possible. Lin Chen nodded in response. Later, after everyone in Yaowang Valley had completely left, Lin Chen took out the Qingyunzi brocade clothes he had just obtained. He put it on directly and looked at Zhang Chengdao and waved, attack me with all your strength. Zhang Chengdao has been watching silently. When the people from Yaowang Valley left, he was about to come to Lin Chen. Hearing this, he was stunned again. Let yourself attack Lin Chen with all your late stage innate strength. Zhang Chengdao didn't have the courage. And he knows his own attacks. When it came to fighting against Lin Chen, he asked himself that it was impossible to win. There is a 100% certainty that Lin Chen will turn him into a scumbag in seconds. But if he attacked with all his strength, Lin Chen looked like he wouldn't even hide. He was really worried that he would accidentally hurt Lin Chen. The introduction to Qingyunzi Jinyi is very simple. It's just a defensive outfit. The system panel shows extremely strong defense. Even the system said so, and Lin Chen was very confident that even a full-strength strike in the late innate stage wouldn't be able to hurt him. He just wanted to test how strong his defense was. A defensive garment that can be compared to something as heaven-defying as the Resurrection Talisman. How could it be bad? The Resurrection Talisman is very special. The introduction above said that it can revive even if the soul is completely destroyed. It can be said to be extremely outrageous. Lin Chen didn't believe that Qingyunzi's brocade clothes would be bad. Zhang Chengdao smacked his lips. Young master, do you mean to stand still and let me attack with all my strength? Are you kidding? Zhang Chengdao didn't dare at all. How could Lin Chen not see it? He waved his hand and said, don't worry about me, you can't hurt me, I'm just trying on this outfit. Just do as I say. Zhang Chengdao also noticed that Lin Chen was wearing an extra piece of clothing just now. A coat that looks very thin feels like nothing when worn on the body. Zhang Chengdao even doubted whether the clothes would be damaged if they were blown by the wind. But Lin Chen said so. Of course he could only do it. After planning for a moment, he attacked Lin Chen with one blow. Didn't use all his strength. I don't want to hurt Lin Chen. Now this is my young master. Nothing can happen. Now that he knew that Lin Chen was at the second level of True Yuan realm, he naturally did not dare to act recklessly. But soon, a surprised expression appeared on his face. Although he didn't use all his strength, he still used half of his strength. The moment he attacked Lin Chen, mysterious runes suddenly appeared around Lin Chen's body. It looks extremely magical. Afterwards, when his attack disappeared, Lin Chen stood there like nothing happened. He frowned and said, didn't I tell you to use all your strength? Are you tickling my young master? Lin Chen's tone was a little unhappy. But I also know what Zhang Chengdao is thinking, he is worried about hurting himself. Not too much blame. And after experiencing this scene, I believe Zhang Chengdao will no longer have any worries. Zhang Chengdao. The young master speaks so domineeringly. Zhang Chengdao was also infected by Lin Chen's domineering attitude. He immediately reacted and Hao Qi Qianyan shouted softly, okay. Since the young master has said so, the old servant will not be polite. As Zhang Chengdao spoke, he took out the low-grade spiritual weapon whisk from his waist. This is his most powerful weapon. With all his strength, he quickly attacked Lin Chen. Today's Zhang Chengdao, although he is only in the late Shantian stage, has been upgraded to the prefectural level due to his martial arts. His attack power is absolutely comparable to that of an innate Zochan strongman whose skills are inferior to his. Full output without reservation at this moment. The entire wide space in the cave was shaking slightly. Boom! A shocking sound came out. Lin Chen's body was instantly overwhelmed by powerful power. It took a while before all the strength was lost. Zhang Chengdao was panting and quickly touched his waist, habitually wanting to take a bottle of Lingyuan pill. This blow drained all the strength from his body. But as soon as I touched it, I remembered that I had given Lin Chen the Lingyuan pill before. But Zhang Chengdao was not in the mood to care about Lingyuan Dan at the moment. He took a few steps back and sat down on the ground. It looked like Lin Chen's eyes were about to pop out. In his opinion, even if he worked so hard, how could he make Lin Chen's clothes slightly dirty? But he thought too much. Don't tell Lin Chen that his clothes are slightly dirty. Not even the hairstyle has changed a bit. It was exactly the same as before he attacked. Even looking more radiant now. Haha, I didn't expect that this Qingyunzi Jinyi not only has strong defense, but can also absorb part of other people's power and supply it to the wearer. Although Lin Chen had long expected that Qingyunzi Jinyi was very powerful. But he didn't expect it to be so powerful, which made him a little overjoyed. Sure enough, just as he thought, Qingyunzi Jinyi's defense was beyond imagination. Such an ability means that if he fights with the enemy in the future, he will not have to worry about his body's strength being exhausted. It can definitely become a fighting machine. Lin Chen continued to study Qingyunzi Jinyi and ignored the shocked Zhang Chengdao. He discovered that if he did not continue to fight, the power that had disappeared would gradually dissipate. Although it cannot be stored for a long time, Lin Chen is very satisfied. It's enough. But then, Lin Chen couldn't help but shake his head. Although Zhang Chengdao's attack was very powerful, he did not test the ultimate defense of Qingyunzi Jinyi. Obviously, Qingyunzi Jinyi's defense is far more than that. But soon, Lin Chen's eyes lit up again. Discovered another powerful function of Qingyunzi Jinyi. Lin Chen tried it immediately. As the power of his body moved, two transparent wings as thin as cicada wings grew out of his back. The next moment, his body rose off the ground. Fly in the air. Zhang Chengdao, who was already shocked and sitting numbly on the ground, couldn't help but let out a burst of exclamation. As we all know, it is impossible to fly innately. But now Lin Chen has actually achieved this step at the second level of the True Yuan realm. What a hell. No, it's this dress. What level of spiritual weapon are these clothes, master? It's too scary. I have never seen such a powerful defensive spiritual weapon. Zhang Chengdao also discovered at this moment that it was the clothes that contributed to this. I guess this is a spiritual weapon. It's just that this spiritual weapon is a little too powerful. Powerful beyond his imagination. Not only is it invincible in defense, it can also help people fly. If word spreads about this, I don't know how many people will come to snatch it. It is indeed the credit of Qingyunzi Jinyi. At this moment, Lin Chen felt the pleasure of flying in the air for the first time. The earth is all under your feet. It also made him excited. He controlled his body to spin quickly in the air. Only when it falls down does it retract its wings. Very happy with what I got. Qingyunzi Jinyi consumes a huge amount of spiritual power when flying. If it weren't for Lin Chen being different from ordinary people by practicing the 5-step super technique at the same time, it can't be that easy. As soon as it fell down, Zhang Chengdao was amazed and praised. Young master actually has such a heaven-defying divine robe. This old servant really admires me. After saying that, I felt even more happy. The stronger Lin Chen becomes, the more proof that his decision was correct. Lin Chen smiled and nodded, then thought of something and said, by the way, I also have a treasure map. It's still early, so why not go take a look? I met the Wang family last time and after killing them, I obtained several treasure map fragments. It was previously handed over to Lin Hu and Lin Changfeng. After they put it together, they gave it to Lin Chen. It was still early in the afternoon, and going out this time went so smoothly that Lin Chen felt that it would be useless to go back too early. You might as well find this treasure first. As he spoke, Lin Chen took out the treasure map and started looking at it. He had not had time to look at it before. Now I was stunned when I saw it. He looked around and muttered to himself, I didn't expect that by some strange combination of circumstances, I ended up at the treasure location. What a coincidence. Coincidentally, Lin Chen no longer had to look for it. The location of the white jade Ganoderma lucidum is actually the location marked on the treasure map. It's just that the space inside the cave here is not a place to hide treasure. But there is a different world. Just need to turn on the switch of the hidden space. The treasure map shows where the switch is. Lin Chen looked carefully, and then searched the surrounding area. At this moment, Zhang Chengdao, who was listening on the side, also had his eyes lit up. Who does not love treasure maps? Looking at Lin Chen's searching eyes, Zhang Chengdao asked doubtfully, Master, what are you looking for? Lin Chen did not hide anything and directly told Zhang Chengdao the whole story. Zhang Chengdao secretly smacked his tongue after hearing this. It's really a coincidence. After explaining, Lin Chen said while searching, you should also look for it. A red stone is the mechanism that opens the space where the treasure is hidden. Hey, okay, young master. Zhang Chengdao responded. After that, the two began to search the huge space in the cave. Not long after, Zhang Chengdao shouted with surprise in his eyes, Master, I found it, here it is. The location where Zhang Chengdao was at this moment was blocked by some tall plants. There is a small red stone right there. Like a button. Lin Chen immediately flew over in a flash. Qingyunzi Jinyi used her arms to drive. My eyes lit up when I saw this red stone. I hope this treasure will not disappoint this young master. After saying that, he stepped on it. Instantly, a rumbling sound came from the entire cave space. Then, Lin Chen and Zhang Chengdao saw it. At the center of the cave space, the stone wall began to part like a gate. It made the entire cave seem to collapse. But when the stone wall was completely opened, it returned to normal again, and a long passage appeared. Both of their eyes lit up. Zhang Chengdao also said, Master, it looks like this treasure may be very unusual. I seem to feel that there is a very strong spiritual energy inside. There may be some treasures there. Lin Chen nodded, he naturally felt it too. He waved his hand, then let's go in and take a look. Afterwards, the two walked into the passage together. After passing through the passage, the two of them were surprised to find that they seemed to have entered a new world. There are flowers and plants everywhere. There are also many small animals. It's just that the air here is extremely hot. As soon as they entered here, the two of them felt it. If they weren't both very strong, Most people would probably get burned if they came in. The animals living here are also fiery red and look very strange. But fortunately, there is nothing offensive. However, the two of them did not do anything casually. But soon, Zhang Chengdao's eyes lit up. Breathing also became rapid. Looking at the red crystals and plants growing everywhere in the space, his face turned red. Lin Chen also noticed this scene. Although he is powerful, in terms of knowledge, he is really not as good as this old man who has lived for 200 years. He asked doubtfully, "Are these all good things?" After hearing Lin Chen's question, Zhang Chengdao also felt relieved. He slowly calmed down his heartbeat, but still couldn't hide his excitement and said, "Master, it's not just good, it's simply amazing. It seems that we have hit a big treasure this time. Young master is so amazing, you can even get this kind of treasure map." Zhang Chengdao came up and praised him. Then he pointed at the red crystals that were scattered everywhere and said, "Master, those are fire crystals, which are the top materials for refining weapons. Usually, a piece of it is a treasure, causing all the major forces to rob it with bloodshed. But there are tons of them here. Once this place is exposed, among other things, all the forces and cities within a radius of thousands of miles will come here to fight for this treasure. We are extremely lucky." Lin Chen also smiled when he heard this. He likes all treasures. There is no one who does not love treasures. Hearing Zhang Chengdao's words, Lin Chen also knew how precious this thing was. "Young master, those are all extremely precious elixirs. These are no worse than fire crystals. If you get such a large quantity, you can pay me some money to the King of Medicine Valley and ask them to help refine it, so you won't have to worry about the use of elixirs in the future." Zhang Chengdao became excited again as he spoke. His eyes were shining brightly as he stared at the countless high-level elixirs. The elixir levels are divided into 4 levels: low, medium, high and top. The lowest elixirs here are all high-grade elixirs. There are even many top elixirs. No wonder Zhang Chengdao is so excited. Lin Chen also smiled and nodded and said, "Okay, when we go back and let the people from Yaowang Valley refine the elixirs, I will return to you double the elixirs I took from you. Start picking. Don't let go of them all, don't leave even one behind." Lin Chen had no intention of keeping the roots and waiting for them to grow in the future. The last word is to move them all away. "Okay, master." Zhang Chengdao rubbed his hands excitedly. Then it was time to start taking action. Lin Chen was not idle either. Both of them happened to have space pockets. Acting together, it didn't take long to collect all the elixirs. Scared away many small animals living in this space. Running around. But a very embarrassing question soon arose. There are too many elixirs. Although the extraction is complete. But most of it is piled there. Both people's space bags are already full. He even threw out all the useless things from the previous space bag. For example, Zhang Chengdao's change of clothes. You can buy a lot of these things just about anywhere. There were also some low-level pills in the space bag given to Lin Chen before. They were all thrown out. But even so, there is no space to hold more, let alone take down those fire crystals that take up more space. This is a treasure that is not inferior to these elixirs. For the first time, the two of them were distressed because there were too many good things to hold. Zhang Chengdao's eyes thought slightly. Then he looked at Lin Chen and said, "Young master, many people in our Qingyan sect have space bags. If you don't mind, young master, please wait for me here. I will go back as soon as possible to get more space bags, and try to get more space bags here. Put everything back." This is the best solution Zhang Chengdao can think of. At this moment, I feel a little regretful, why I never carry 10 or 8 space bags with me. It makes me so embarrassed now. Looking at the treasure and sighing. When Lin Chen heard this, he felt that this was the only way. Just as he was about to agree, he suddenly pointed to a silver stone on a red mound high in space and said, "Do you think that stone looks like a space stone?" Although Lin Chen didn't recognize the fire crystal and many medicinal herbs. Mainly, the memories he gained were all about his own life. He had never become an innate strong person until his death. But there is only memory about this space stone in my memory. It appeared at an auction in Yancheng. Knowing that this kind of thing is the main material for refining space bags. The innate strong man can refine the space bag himself. Zhang Chengdao also looked in the direction of Lin Chen's finger. The body was shaken suddenly again. Young master, it's really a space stone, and it's so big. Zhang Chengdao is sure that this is definitely the largest space stone he has ever seen in his life. Generally, when space stones are born, fist-sized space stones are very impressive. Anything larger is extremely valuable to the Qingyan sect. After all, refining a space bag only requires some space stone powder. But this one is as big as 5 people can hold it together. It's posted. Master, we have sent it. Zhang Chengdao also had shortness of breath. Innate experts are already able to independently refine space bags. It's not that difficult. As long as you are an innate master, you can do it. After successfully advancing to Shantian, the body can emit spiritual fire. Lin Chen nodded. Okay, let's go over and have a look. Both of them immediately flashed past, arriving in front of the huge silver space stone. The closer the distance is, the more shocking it becomes. The space stone was so big that the 2 people standing there were taller than them. Without paying attention before, I thought it was the decoration on the top of the mountain. Zhang Chengdao quickly went up to check. Then he nodded excitedly to Lin Chen. Master. Yes, it is a pure space stone without any impurities. If you take this space stone back with you, it will be enough for a big force to inherit it for thousands of years. Zhang Chengdao's words are no exaggeration. Such a large space stone is rare in the world. It is enough to consume a large force for 10,000 years. Zhang Chengdao never thought that this treasure would be so big. It's simply beyond imagination. So excited. Lin Chen nodded lightly. Well, you can just use this space stone to refine the space bag. There are so many treasures, I don't know when they will be moved. Not having a space bag is undoubtedly extremely troublesome. Zhang Chengdao nodded. Just about to do it. Go around behind the space stone and reach out to scrape some space stone powder. Another meal for the body. Pointing downwards, he waved to Lin Chen. Master, come quickly and see what that is. Lin Chen was puzzled. He came to Zhang Chengdao and looked in the direction of his finger. Also slightly surprised, I saw a huge magma pool under the hill. Lin Chen finally understood why it was so hot here. The important thing is not this magma pool. But at this moment, there are crystal clear grass growing around the magma pool. It looks extremely magical. If Lin Chen saw it correctly, it looked very much like the ambergris recorded in books. There are records of ambergris in his memory. This ambergris is an extremely good thing. It's more advanced than elixir. It is a top-notch medicine. Above the elixir are precious medicines, which are also divided into 4 levels: low, medium, high and extreme. This ambergris is completely incomparable to those previous elixirs. And there are a lot of them. Zhang Chengdao swallowed hard as he watched. He reacted and said, Master, this should be the legendary ambergris. It's so terrifying. What on earth is this place? At this moment, Zhang Chengdao also suddenly thought of something in his mind. That is, the treasures of heaven and earth are all guarded by strange beasts. And there are so many treasures here. If it could be obtained so easily, it would feel extremely unreal to him. Zhang Chengdao's question undoubtedly aroused Lin Chen's doubts. But before he could think too much, there was a rumbling sound. 100 years, a full 100 years. But finally 2 people came in. The 98th and 99th people are finally found. Jia Jia Jia. A burst of wild laughter spread throughout the space. Then the entire magma pool boiled. Then something shocking happened. From the magma pool, 2 dragon horns slowly emerged. Zhang Chengdao and Lin Chen were both stunned for the first time. Reminds me of the legend of Hidden Dragon Valley. Legend has it that there is a dragon in the Hidden Dragon Valley. Could this legend be true? What a powerful creature that dragon is. Even his childhood is comparable to the innate Zochan state. This voice and such a huge dragon horn don't look like a young dragon. And the voice said it itself. They're the only ones who've been here for 100 years. In other words, this dragon has probably been here for at least 100 years. How terrifying would it be if this were the case? Zhang Chengdao immediately said, Master, let's run. This is a divine dragon. Although he has never seen the dragon, Zhang Chengdao has heard a lot of legends. No one cares about those treasures at this moment. The most important thing is to save your life. And they had already pretended a lot just now, so the trip was completely worthwhile. Before Lin Chen could reply, the voice had already answered Zhang Chengdao's words, "Want to run? Jia Jia Jia, are you still running?" As the words fell, a huge creature also revealed its entire body. It is true that the dragon's head is correct, and it also has dragon claws, but its body is completely different from the characteristics of a divine dragon. It is wide, thick, and powerful, but it is more like the body of a huge horse. But the body is covered with dragon scales, and the whole body is black and red. There is also a dragon tail swinging around behind him. It looks like a half-dragon monster. At this moment, two big eyes were staring at the two of them. Just like looking at ants. Although it was not a complete divine dragon, Lin Chen and Zhang Chengdao also saw that this thing was definitely related to the dragon clan. Ruined, Zhang Chengdao cried out sadly. How to fight this? Just feeling that breath made Zhang Chengdao's legs feel weak. Looking towards Lin Chen beside him, he found Lin Chen standing there calmly. There was no expression of fear on his face. He was looking up and down at the half-dragon monster. He kept nodding. I feel that if I take this thing as a pet and give it to Xiaozi will like it. The half-dragon monster also has no nonsense. He opened his mouth and spit out a breath of dragon breath towards the two of them. Zhang Chengdao immediately took a step back and almost fell to the ground. After all, he is following his servant. He has Qingyunzi Jinyi and is not afraid of the dragon's breath, but Zhang Chengdao can't bear it. Lin Chen slapped Zhang Chengdao directly and sent him far away. He faced the dragon's breath attack alone. He was instantly overwhelmed by a large amount of hot dragon breath. The half-dragon monster had disdain in his eyes. This mere human being in front of him actually didn't dodge his dragon's breath. He was really a fool. Even Zhang Chengdao, who was rescued by Lin Chen, had this illusion at the moment. Does Lin Chen think Qingyunzi Jinyi can block this terrifying dragon's breath? Zhang Chengdao felt it was completely impossible. He had never heard of such a defensive weapon. Defensive spiritual weapons can at best play a supporting role. Let the practitioner's body suffer as little damage as possible. Although it had surprised him before, it was too exaggerated to be able to block the dragon's breath. Lin Chen didn't know if Qingyunzi Jinyi could block the dragon's breath. But the reason for his confidence is not just because of Qingyunzi Jinyi. There is also a new skill he just created, Longyan Bo Ruo Gong. Longyan Bo Ruo Gong is a Jiang Kung Fu. After practicing, you can activate the Supreme Dragon Flame. It is far beyond what this half-dragon's dragon breath can match. Although Lin Chen's current cultivation level is too low, he is unable to fully exert his power. But his Supreme Dragon Flame has an absolute restraint effect on this kind of dragon breath. Can directly extinguish this dragon's breath. Lin Chen stood there, his hands still clasped behind his back. But his body was bursting with golden Supreme Dragon Flames. Like the golden fire god. When the half-dragon monster's breath hit Lin Chen's body, it disappeared in an instant as if it had been absorbed. Instead, the golden flame of the Supreme Dragon Flame on Lin Chen's body became brighter. This scene completely stunned Zhang Chengdao. He also said that he is only at the second level of the True Essence realm. Zhang Chengdao didn't know how many times he had doubted his life today. But that didn't stop him from continuing to doubt. The half-dragon monster was also stunned. The huge body trembled. From the golden flames on Lin Chen's body, he felt tremendous pressure, as if Lin Chen was a real dragon. Wrong. When he was in the dragon clan, he had never seen such majestic and terrifying dragon flames. It seemed like a flame that didn't belong to this world. Make it incomprehensible. I don't dare to take action casually anymore. It could also feel that Lin Chen was only at the second level of human true essence realm. But it now believes what it sees with its own eyes even more. This is definitely not something that a second level true Yuan realm person can do. Even the strongest innate Zochan among humans cannot stop its dragon breath. Could it be that this human being is hiding his cultivation? He is a super strong person among human beings. If that were the case, I might fall here today. Long Qi thought so. I felt extremely fearful, feeling fear for the first time. This is something that many dragons cannot feel. That power was too restrained for it. It seems to be a flame that can only be possessed by the king of the dragon clan. Dragon is the name of the half-dragon monster. Dragons will have their own names when they are born. It is no exception, it's just that it is a freak. Because it is different from other dragons at birth, it is ostracized. Long Checheng looked at Lin Chen seriously. Another guess. Could it be that he is a super strong person from our dragon clan who can transform into humans? He is just traveling around the world hiding his identity as a dragon with the second level of human true Yuan realm cultivation. Once my senior dragon clan reaches a certain level of cultivation, I will be able to transform into a human form and look the same as a human being. The situation at hand, I'm afraid there is only one possibility, it must be like this. Long Qi figured everything out in an instant. Apart from this possibility, there is absolutely no other possibility. Lin Chen didn't know that this half-dragon monster was so good at thinking. The reason why he is so confident is that he has other ways to make this dragon a peaceful pet. And it's hard to say no. Not only humans can practice this Long Yan Bo Ruo Gong. In fact, it is more suitable for dragon cultivation. Although it is not as good as Shangguan Yunyan's Flame Soul Immortal body, it is better than any other body to practice this technique. As long as this skill is used as an introduction, it is impossible for this dragon not to be moved. Lin Chen was about to speak. However, Long Qi spoke first, with a humble and respectful tone, and his body also took the initiative to kneel down, with his head on the same level as Lin Chen. Senior, Junior Long Qi, before, this junior was too blind to see Mount High. I hope senior will forgive me and don't blame me. Long Qi was still scared and trembling when he spoke. It was really scared, if it's really what he thinks. Such a senior can easily kill it. Lin Chen was stunned. I know the name of this half-dragon monster. But I don't understand why this dragon is called that suddenly. Are you that old? It's a person who calls me, Senpei, when they see him. Zhang Chengdao before, Long Qi now. It made Lin Chen doubt his age. Lin Chen was a little confused, but Zhang Chengdao was shocked after seeing this scene and wanted to understand the whole story. He also had the same idea as Long Qi. I screamed in my heart, I understand. I understand. No wonder the young master is so strong. He must be a member of the dragon clan. If I saw the flame on the young master correctly just now, it should be dragon flames. The dragon calls the young master so respectfully, it must be like this. In this case, everything will be explained. No wonder the young master always said that he was at the second level of the true Yuan realm before. It turns out that he was talking about his human body cultivation. No wonder. Zhang Chengdao was excited for a while. I felt a lot better that I could figure this out. Otherwise, it would always feel weird to follow Lin Chen. I heard that the strong dragon clan will have a period of weakness after they first become human. The young master must be worried about some enemies seeking revenge, so he didn't tell me. Zhang Chengdao thought of the legends he had heard. I am convinced of this guess at this moment. There is no need to say more about Long Qi. This legend is true and is not a secret among their dragon clan. Generally, the super strong men of the dragon clan will enter a period of weakness and endure it for a period of time just after becoming human. After all, no one who lives in Tianlong continent has many enemies, whether human or dragon. Lin Chen didn't know what the two people were thinking. I didn't even understand the origin of this Senora's title. But he didn't bother to think about it. As long as it doesn't affect his plan. It would be inappropriate to accept such a half-dragon. Bring it back to the Lin family and give it to Xiaozi. It can not only protect Xiaozi, but also serve as the Lin family's guardian beast. It can be said that it kills two birds with one stone. Looking at Long Qi, Lin Chen waved his hands and said, I'm not that old yet. It's not nice to call me senior. Just call me young master. Ah, okay, young master. Long Qi doesn't care about so much. Anyway, whoever is awesome has the final say. It's a small mutated half-dragon, just be obedient. It was all the junior's fault before. Master, please don't blame me. Long Qi apologized again and again. Two huge dragon eyes looked at Lin Chen carefully. Lin Chen waved his hand. Don't worry, I'm not so petty. Your name is Long Qi, right? Why are you here? How dare Long Qi not answer honestly? Being asked by Lin Chen also brought back its sad past. After a huge sigh, Long Qi began to tell his experience. To tell you the truth, "Young master, I am a member of the dragon clan. My father is a black dragon and my mother is a fire dragon. After giving birth to me, my body mutated and my blood became impure. I must have seen this, eh?" Long Qi sighed again when he saw that he was neither a dragon nor a monster. Then he continued to narrate. "Later on, I was ostracized in the dragon clan because of this, and was often bullied by other dragon clan members. Once I offended a descendant of an elder of the black dragon clan, I was exiled here. They said that I would only be released back to the dragon clan when I accumulated enough skulls of 100 explorers." At this moment, Zhang Daocheng also ran over to Lin Chen. Lin Chen looked at him with reverence and admiration. Still immersed in his own speculation, Lin Chen was also a little puzzled by Zhang Daocheng. I don't know what Zhang Daocheng had in mind. He didn't bother to think about it. At this moment, after hearing Long Qi's words, the two of them looked at the skulls piled in a small pile next to the magma. Apparently they were accumulated by former explorers who came here and were killed by Long Qi. Lin Chen figured everything out instantly. Obviously, this descendant of the Dragon Clan elder is playing tricks on Long Qi. Treat this place as a game field. There must be more than one treasure map scattered outside, allowing explorers to come here and be killed by Long Qi. It can be said that humans were also played by the descendants of the Dragon Elder. Long Qi continued to complain. Young master should have heard that the elder's descendants are deliberately playing tricks on the younger generation, but the elder's status is so high that I can't resist. Junior has been here for more than 200 years. It was fine for the past 100 years or so. Many explorers came here, and I quickly collected 97 skulls. But for some reason, not a single explorer came here again in the next 100 years. Quote, "And I don't dare to go out. Once the descendants of the Dragon Clan elder find out, they will definitely kill me." Lin Chen didn't expect that this Long Qi was quite pitiful. In fact, Lin Chen also understood why no explorers came in the next 100 years. Obviously, it's because of the 3 4th level monsters outside. Before the explorers could open the treasure, they were already killed by the 4th level monster. No chance at all coming here. Lin Chen looked at Long Qi and got straight to the point. "Now this young master will give you a chance. As long as you surrender to me in the future, I will give you a great opportunity. Even the so-called descendants of the Dragon Clan will have a scumbag opportunity in front of you in the future. Do you want it?" Chance. Great opportunity. Long Qi understood what Lin Chen meant in an instant. There is no doubt that the senior Dragon Clan in front of him has taken a fancy to it. What an honor it is. In the Dragon Clan, the seniors who can transform into humans are so powerful, the lowest is at the elder level. Long Qi had no doubts about Lin Chen's words. After all, it was so humiliated and teased by the Dragon Clan elder and junior, how could it be possible without anger? But soon, Long Qi came to his senses, looked at Lin Chen carefully and asked, "Master, is this surrender forever?" Although Long Qi did not doubt that Lin Chen would allow him to take revenge in the future. But if it comes at the cost of forever surrendering as a slave, it makes it hesitate. But soon, Long Qi no longer had such worries. Lin Chen shook his head. "It doesn't take so long. It only takes 1,000 years. 1,000 years is insignificant compared to the lifespan of your Dragon Clan. I believe you have no problem, right? Dragons have a long lifespan. He was extremely powerful right after birth, far exceeding that of humans. Long Qi has been sealed here for more than 200 years, and including his original age, he is only over 500 years old. In the Dragon Clan, it belongs to the period of adolescence. A normal Dragon Clan can live for 2,000 to 3,000 years without any problem. This condition is already extremely favorable for Long Qi. And what Lin Chen gave it was even more generous. The current Long Qi doesn't know it yet, but this technique can make him become a being that the entire Dragon Clan looks up to in the future. This dragon is still pretty good right now, and Lin Chen wants to take it back to be a protective umbrella for Shaozi. It won't be long before this Dragon Qi Sheng rushes to be a mount and has no chance. Really, when Long Qi heard this, he was immediately ecstatic. 1,000 years is perfectly acceptable for it. As long as it gets the chance to hear what Lin Chen said, it can judge whether it is true or false. If it were true, let alone 1,000 years, it would be able to accept an additional 1,000 years. Think of this. Long Qi was the one who kept knocking his head in front of Lin Chen. Thank you, Master. This junior needs this opportunity, so please give Master this opportunity to Xiaolong. From now on, Xiaolong will only follow Master's lead and will not hesitate to die. Long Qi also knew that this was the time to show his loyalty. What he said was sonorous and powerful. Lin Chen nodded lightly. Okay, now I will pass on to you a technique suitable for your dragon clan's cultivation. The name of the technique is Longyan Bo Ruo Gong. Remember it. After that, Lin Chen fulfilled his promise and passed on the Longyan Boruo Kung Fu to Long Qi. Only halfway through, Long Qi was already trembling with excitement after trying to practice. It's too strong. It's too strong. How can there be such a powerful technique in the world? Heaven-level skills. No, heaven-level skills are not that powerful. After all, Long Qi is a member of the Dragon Clan and has a wide range of knowledge. But it is impossible to guess the level of this technique at this moment. One can imagine how terrifying this technique is. Although Long Qi had exhausted all his imagination before, imagining what kind of skills Lin Chen would teach him. But at this moment, it was still far beyond its expectations. I exclaimed in my heart, such seniors must not be unknown people. Why have they never been heard of in our Dragon Clan? It seems that I was really ignorant before. Long Qi couldn't figure it out and simply thought that he had little knowledge. When Lin Chen finished teaching the skills, Long Qi was extremely excited and knelt down and bowed to Lin Chen again. Zhang Chengdao on the side was so envious that he was drooling. Could he not be envious? Lin Chen personally taught the exercises, and also helped Long Qi become familiar with the exercise routes. Although he didn't know what level of skill it was definitely many times stronger than his own. His current skills are already at the top level of the earth level. One can imagine what a terrifying technique that must be. He couldn't even imagine it. I am afraid that my imagination will tarnish the level of this technique. Lin Chen naturally noticed this scene. After all, Zhang Chengdao should follow him first. Lin Chen took his things again, so naturally he wouldn't treat him badly. He looked at Zhang Chengdao and said, "You don't have to be so envious. Finish packing up the things in this space first, and I will also pass on a technique to you. This technique is more suitable for Long Qi. I will teach you other techniques. While I'm at it, let me think about what skills to teach you." What? Young Master, you still have this level of skills? More than one. As soon as Lin Chen finished speaking, Zhang Chengdao jumped up and exclaimed. This is too scary. Such a terrifying technique. Ordinary people, including dragons, and those superpowers, can possess one and pass it down for 100,000 years. But Lin Chen turned out to be more than one. Long Qi, who was excited when the technique had just been taught to him, suddenly trembled when he heard these words. The level of shock was no less than that of Zhang Chengdao. There was another burst of shouting in my heart. You made a profit. You made a profit. You made a fortune. The young master is probably more powerful than I imagined. With seniors like the young master, and with the skills that the young master passed on to me, in the near future, the entire dragon clan will tremble because of me. Long Qi seemed to have seen that day. There is a high fighting spirit in the dragon eyes. Lin Chen was also frightened. This piece of enlightenment was a sudden surprise. He waved his hands and said, "What's all the fuss about? I have 5 such exercises. I have told you that as long as you follow me from now on, Tianlong continent will be your playground." Master, Zhang Chengdao and Long Qi looked at Lin Chen at the same time. Needless to say, the excitement in my heart goes without saying. Zhang Chengdao was eager to work immediately. Hurry up and deal with the treasures in this space, and then let Lin Chen teach him the skills to get this great opportunity. Give Lin Chen some quiet time to think. The top priority is to pack all these things. Now that Lin Chen has conquered Long Qi, there will naturally be no problem in taking these things. Long Qi even helped clean up together. Zhang Chengdao is responsible for refining the space bag, and Long Qi is responsible for collecting all the treasures in the space. Almost no grass grows. These things were created by the descendants of the Dragon Clan Elder in order to attract explorers. Naturally, Long Qi was not polite at all. He also has a backer now. Even if the descendant of the Dragon Clan Elder knew that Zhang came to visit, it would not be afraid. Soon, Zhang Chengdao used the space stone and some materials that he already had in the space bag to refine hundreds of space bags. It only consumed a space stone larger than a fist. For the entire huge space stone, it is completely negligible. Put all those fire crystals, various elixirs and ambergris into the space bag, and only used 20 of them. Zhang Chengdao handed the empty space bag and the space bag filled with treasures to Lin Chen respectfully with both hands and said, "Young master, everything is here." This extra space bag was specially refined by the old servant for the young master. From now on convenient to use. Zhang Chengdao was very considerate in his service. He was also worried that Lin Chen would use the space bag in the future, so he refined it for him in advance. Lin Chen was also very satisfied with Zhang Chengdao's thoughtfulness. He directly threw 2 interspatial bags filled with treasures to Zhang Chengdao and Long Qi and said, "You follow me, I can't keep the good things to myself. You can take these and you will need them in the future. If you run out, tell the young master and he will give it to you again." Suddenly, Long Qi and Zhang Chengdao were also excited. It's hard not to be excited by these treasures. But they didn't dare to ask for it. Zhang Chengdao looked at the 2 spatial bags in his hands. They were countless times stronger than what he had given Lin Chen before. If he brought them back to the Qingyan sect, he would probably shock the entire Qingyan sect. But these things, Zhang Chengdao knew that compared with what Lin Chen was going to give him next, it was completely like rubbish. Lin Chen had said before that he would take this time to think about which technique to teach him. If you take this kind of technique back home, as long as you expose your aura even slightly, you can shock the entire Qingyan sect. While the two were cleaning up, Lin Chen was really thinking. He has 5 techniques. Smallpox magic is more suitable for female practitioners. The Heavenly Sword Supreme technique places too much emphasis on attack and places great demands on the practitioner's body. It is not appropriate for Zhang Chengdao to suddenly start practicing at this age. The Xingqian Xuanyuan Ju is too mysterious and requires too much talent and understanding. Only Dugu Wanqing is more suitable. Zhang Chengdao's talent can only be regarded as average. Although compared with people like Yan Cheng, they are already awesome. But in Lin Chen's eyes, it was just ordinary. Although it can be practiced and the achievements will not be low, the final achievements will be limited compared to other methods. The Long Yan Bo Ruo Gong is more suitable for Long Qi. Since he gave it, Lin Chen would naturally give it well. Then only the magical power of yin and yang is left. The minimum requirements for practitioners allowed Zhang Chengdao to perform better. Thinking of this, Lin Chen looked at Zhang Chengdao with hopeful eyes and said, "Listen carefully and feel it carefully. The name of the skill I will teach you next is the yin-yang revolving magic skill. It is no better than the dragon flame I taught Long Qi. Bo Ruo Gong is worse. Cultivation to a high and deep level can reverse the yin and yang." After Lin Chen finished speaking, Zhang Chengdao's face turned red and he couldn't control himself. After calming down for a moment, he put away his trembling heart and bowed to Lin Chen. "Thank you, Master, for teaching me this skill. From now on, I will never give up. I am the Master's person in life, and it is the Master's ghost in death." After, Lin Chen didn't say much. After Zhang Chengdao abandoned his previous skills, he passed on the yin-yang revolving magic to Zhang Chengdao. Boom. Innate Zochen. When Lin Chen finished teaching the skills, Zhang Chengdao started to use the skills and achieved a breakthrough in an instant. He has reached a state that he has always dreamed of but has never reached. Moreover, the energy level of his body is even dozens of times higher than that of his fellow sect master brother who is also the innate Zochen. This is simply a qualitative difference. Such a skill was beyond his imagination. Everything falls into place. He even vaguely felt that he would break through to a higher realm in the future. And all this is brought about by just one technique. More importantly, Zhang Chengdao is much younger. It was as if I had become dozens of years younger in an instant. Her hair, which was previously white, now turned black and gray. This breakthrough extended his lifespan by several decades. It would not be an exaggeration to say that it is a gift of reinvention. Plop. Long live the young master. Zhang Chengdao knelt directly in front of Lin Chen, feeling so excited that he could not let go of it for a long time. When he saw Lin Chen teach Long Qi his skills before, he could only feel that it was very strong. Only now that I practice myself can I know how strong it is. Get up, there's no need to be so polite. Lin Chen raised his hand slightly. Zhang Chengdao's body was lifted up through the air. After calming down again, he said, Young master, now that the matter here is over, I want to go back to Qingyan sect first and explain the situation to my brothers and sisters, otherwise I'm afraid they will worry. Lin Chen nodded lightly. Okay, you go back and finish the trivial matters first, and then come to the Lin family in Yancheng to find me. It's the young master. Zhang Chengdao bowed deeply again. He turned around and returned to Qingyan sect with the super skills he had just obtained and 2 space bags full of treasures. Wait until Zhang Chengdao leaves. Long Qi's booming voice sounded. Master, where should we go next? Now that he had followed Lin Chen, Long Qi's attitude at the moment was extremely humble. Ask Lin Chen for instructions on what to do next. Go back to Lin's house first, let's go. After Lin Chen finished speaking, Long Qi immediately answered, Please ask the young master to come on my back, let my subordinates carry the young master, and the young master will be responsible for guiding the way. Lin Chen was not polite either. Now Long Qi has completely surrendered to him. Being able to save the energy of rushing, he was naturally too lazy to move. He jumped onto Long Qi's back. Afterwards, Long Qi's body soared into the air, flying directly upward with his huge body, exploding the entire space. A big hole opened directly in the entire mountain. A loud, penetrating, and shocking dragon roar spread throughout the Hidden Dragon Valley. At this moment, countless monsters in the Hidden Dragon Valley trembled and crawled. It was as if the king had emerged from the mountain. The violent sound spread all around for a long time. The people who were practicing everywhere in the Hidden Dragon Valley also raised their heads in fear, looking at the direction where the sound came from with shocked expressions on their faces. This is the roar of the dragon. Could it be that there really is a dragon in the Hidden Dragon Valley? Oh my god, what a terrifying power! Many people had shock in their eyes. But I dare not go deep into the Hidden Dragon Valley to see it. He just hurriedly led the family members to rush out of the Hidden Dragon Valley. After all, Shenlong is such a creature, and they don't know how many people will finish the game with just one breath of dragon breath. It's okay to be curious, but you can't kill yourself. ... At this time, Lin Chen was here. Snapped. Lin Chen gave Long Qi a slap on the head and cursed, You keep a low profile. Do you want to deafen my ears? Not really angry either. It was just that the sound was so loud that it made his ears itch. Couldn't help but rub it. Long Qi suddenly felt awkward and nodded repeatedly. Hey, what the young master said is that he just stayed in that small space for too long and couldn't control it. Young master, calm down, young master. Long Qi has been in that dimension for more than 200 years. I've been suffocating for a long time. Suddenly coming out at this moment, naturally I felt happy and couldn't help but vent. Lin Chen can naturally understand. Said, Be careful next time. Let's go, it's almost afternoon, I have something else to do. Yes, master. Long Qi suddenly stretched out his body, his huge body suspended in the sky above the entire Hidden Dragon Valley, and flew towards Yancheng. Although the dragon is not in the form of a divine dragon. But in fact, the body is more powerful than the common dragon posture of the dragon clan. Even more vicious. Just taking one look at it is a huge shock. The dragon flew high in the air. The demonic beasts were all crouching and did not dare to raise their heads. People passing by were also shocked to see this scene. They all exclaimed, Oh my god, what is that thing? It looks like a divine dragon, but it's different. It looks even scarier than a divine dragon. In fact, Long Qi's original power was not so terrifying. It makes people feel more terrifying than the dragon. Just because he practiced the Longyan Boruo Gong given by Lin Chen. At this moment, the body was burning with dark golden flames and a hint of red flames. It looks like a peerless ferocious beast. The Long Yan Bo Ruo Gong is not all completely golden flames. Because Lin Chen is a human being, the golden dragon flame is so pure. Shangguan Union will also practice like this in the future. But dragon indifferent. It is a dragon itself, and it is also a hybrid of a black dragon and a fire dragon. Therefore, the color of the dragon flame will be different after it is practiced by Long Yan Boruo Gong. But there is no doubt that it is powerful. Long Qi flew all the way towards Yancheng at an extremely fast speed. It didn't take long to reach the empty area between Yancheng and Hidden Dragon Valley. Lin Chen asked Long Qi to stop and said, "We will arrive at Yancheng soon, can you make it smaller? Those who don't know may think I am going to attack the city." It was already afternoon, and Lin Chen had to go directly to the city lord's mansion. Long Qi looks so scary. The sensation caused was too great. By then, I'm afraid I won't be able to properly awaken Dugu Wanqing's immortal body with peace of mind. When Long Qi heard this, he nodded immediately. "Okay, Master, of course." After that, the body rapidly shrank, turning into the size of a horse, but it was still full of power and could definitely blow up the streets. Long Qi looked down and felt it was too gorgeous. He immediately put away the dragon flames on his body. But it still looks like a superb horse. The power and demeanor attached to the dragon clan itself cannot be hidden by the dragon. "Master, I tried my best." Lin Chen couldn't see it yet. He nodded and said, "Okay, that's it. Let's go into the city." Long Qi nodded, carried Lin Chen on his back and headed towards the city gate. It is not that far away from the gate of Yancheng. It didn't take long to arrive. As soon as he arrived, he attracted countless eyes. The image of Long Qi is too easy to attract people. So much like a dragon. If you don't look at the back half, it has the characteristics of a divine dragon. Immediately, many people who happened to pass by the city gate were watching. It wasn't until Lin Chen entered the city riding a dragon that he dared to start talking. That person just now looked very familiar. Could it be young Master Lin Chen of the Lin family? I've met young Master Lin Chen. It's him. You're not dazzled. Oh my god. I heard that young Master Lin Chen is so powerful that even the city lord respects him. The city lord's daughter Dugu Wanqing is his disciple. You said that young Master Lin Chen was a loser before, how come he suddenly became so powerful? Who knows, I may have gotten some great opportunity. This kind of thing is something you can't envy. What kind of monster was Master Lin Chen riding just now? Why do I feel so much like the legendary dragon? Don't tell me, I feel very similar, but dragons are not always huge in size, and they don't look like this. They are probably some kind of mutated monsters. Yes, that's what I think. What kind of creature is the dragon? Although I admit that young Master Lin Chen is indeed powerful, how can he ride a dragon? Everyone shook their heads. I just think that the dragon is a mutated monster. No one would have thought that this was indeed a member of the dragon clan. It's just a mutated dragon. If he were not excluded or recognized by the dragon clan, he would still be considered a divine dragon. Riding a dragon and walking in the city, many people started talking. They all agreed that Long Qi was a mutated monster. After all, the words of the dragon clan are too scary. All the way to the city lord's mansion. When the guard of the city lord's mansion saw Lin Chen and Long Qi sitting under him, he was stunned. I was also shocked. Anyone who sees Long Qi for the first time will feel that it is a divine dragon. But he quickly came to his senses and ended up guessing the same as everyone else. I saw it was Lin Chen. Dugu Tonghai had already ordered him here before. Be treated with the highest courtesy. The two guards from the city lord's mansion came over immediately. Facing Lin Chen, he suddenly fell to the ground and shouted respectfully, "Master Lin, the lord of the city has already given instructions. If you come, you don't need to pass the message. Just go in directly. Let me lead the way for you." Lin Chen nodded. Not polite either. "Okay, lead the way, take me to see Dugu Tonghai." The two doormen were startled. Now in the entire Yan city, Lin Chen is probably the only one who dares to directly address the city lord by his first name. But they have the confidence and strength. Lin Chen's deeds have now spread throughout Yancheng. No one cares. Everyone knows Lin Chen's future status in Yancheng. After the two guards were in a daze, one of them immediately continued to guard the gate of the city lord's mansion. The other one led the way for Lin Chen. In the past, anyone who came to the city lord's mansion was not allowed to ride a mount. But Lin Chen was an exception. The guard didn't dare to have the slightest objection. I'm afraid even the city lord Dugu Tonghai wouldn't say much if he saw it. Just as Lin Chen and the guard left, the remaining guard released a flying pigeon. When Lin Chen was halfway into the city lord's mansion riding a dragon, Dugu Tonghai led Uncle Fu and a large number of people from the city lord's mansion to come out to greet him. The etiquette is very solemn. Dugu Wanqing is also there. Seeing Lin Chen was also very exciting. Dugu Tonghai didn't care at all when he saw Lin Chen riding his mount. Just looked at the dragon and was shocked. But he didn't think about Long Qi as Shenlong. I was just shocked that Lin Chen was really powerful. He had found such a mighty monster as a mount after not seeing him for a day. Although I don't know how strong this monster is, it must be good enough to be taken as a mount by Lin Chen. Dugu Tonghai burst into laughter and praised, "Ha ha ha. Master Lin's mount is really extraordinary, and it is very suitable for Master Lin's identity. I have been waiting for a long time. The medicinal materials Master Lin asked me to prepare are all collected and ready for use at any time. But Master Lin has just arrived, so it's better not to be in such a hurry. Let's go in and sit down first." There is no reason why Dugu Tonghai is unhappy. His face looked red at the moment. Last night, he practiced the Xingxing Xuanyuan Ju that Lin Chen gave to Dugu Wanqing all night long. Although it is very mysterious and difficult to understand, even when running the exercise route, you have to concentrate on dealing with many changes. But the effect of practice is far beyond imagination. In just one night, not only half a step of innate cultivation was stabilized. His cultivation has become much deeper. Breaking through Shantian in the near future will be a matter of course. In fact, Dugu Tonghai's talent has always been good. It's just that his skills are not very high and his knowledge is not enough. This makes it difficult to achieve great results. Otherwise, there would be no immortal body like Dugu Wanqing. The elemental immortal body is very powerful. After awakening, you can communicate with all elements in the world. Very scary. Cooperate with Xingxin Xuanyuan Ju. In the future, if you cultivate enough, you will even be able to control the power of the stars. Dugu Tonghai walked over with a smile and stretched out his hand to hold Lin Chen's mount himself. Seeing that there was no rope, he stretched out his hand to pull Long Qi's horns. Suddenly Long Qi's body was slightly shocked, and Dugu Tonghai's palms felt numb, as if he had been electrocuted. Long Qi looked at Dugu Tonghai with disdain. If it weren't for the fact that this man knew Lin Chen and dared to touch its dragon horns, now everyone would be transformed by its dragon flames. Even Zhang Chengdao's innate Zochin cultivation was like scum in front of Long Qi. Not to mention the mere access to the sea. At this moment, the shock in Dugu Tonghai's heart was like an overwhelming feeling. He has half a step of innate cultivation. But he was shocked away by a monster. There is no doubt that this monster is probably of a very high level. But when he thought that it was Lin Chen's mount, Dugu Tonghai felt relieved. After all, he still hadn't figured out how powerful Lin Chen was. "Dad, what's wrong with you?" Dugu Wanqing also came over and looked curiously at Dugu Tonghai, who was behaving strangely. Only Uncle Fu could see some of it, but he didn't say much. After all, Dugu Tonghai was the city lord, so he had to save some face. It's hard to say that he was injured by a mount. At this moment, his palms still hurt. He just waved his hands and said with a smile, "It's okay, it's just that Master Lin's horse looks like a horse, which makes me marvel. Master Lin, please come in quickly. Wanqing, please stay with me." How could Dugu Tonghai dare to touch Long Qi? He didn't even dare to let Dugu Wanqing get close, for fear of accidentally hurting his daughter. When Lin Chen saw this scene, he patted Long Qi's head again. He cursed in a low voice, "Give me peace of mind. Then come down," he said to Long Qi, "Go and stay over there." After finally arriving at Dugu Wanqing's house, Lin Chen stopped riding Long Qi. "I came down and planned to walk with Dugu Tonghai and others." "Yes, master." Long Qi suddenly uttered human words, which shocked everyone again. Dugu Tonghai immediately pulled Dugu Wanqing back several steps. The monster has spoken. No one expected it, and looked at Long Qi dumbfounded. This is too sensational. As everyone knows, in Tianlong continent, even 5th level monsters cannot speak human words. Only beast kings above the 5th level of monsters can learn human speech. But the dragon-like monster in front of me actually spoke. It was undoubtedly a bombshell that resounded in everyone's ears. What kind of monster is the Beast King? It can destroy Yancheng with a single move. It's hard to say whether a city like Yancheng can block the Beast King's attacks. If it was really the Beast King, the horror would be beyond their imagination. But what kind of cultivation level is Lin Chen? He is only at the second level of the true essence realm. Even though the evildoer can fight across levels, defeating the fifth level of the true essence realm is already an exaggeration. Even if he could defeat the innate strong with more exaggeration, the gap between him and the Beast King would be like a vast ocean of sand. There is no comparison at all. Dugu Tonghai and all of them were stunned. He looked at Long Qi in horror and then at Lin Chen. Lin Chen was stunned for a moment, trying to figure out what these people were thinking. Said, "It is not the king of beasts, it is just a little special." Lin Chen didn't ask about Long Qi's specific combat power. But how could a dragon be the king of beasts? But definitely not worse than Beast King. But Lin Chen also knew that if he told it, these people would probably be scared to death. I might as well stop scaring them and let these people stop thinking about it. Don't ask too many questions, which will delay him from awakening the elemental immortal body for Dugu Wanqing. Really. As soon as Lin Chen said these words, Dugu Tonghai and the others suddenly understood. He breathed a sigh of relief at the same time. If Lin Chen really rode a Beast King, they wouldn't know how to face Lin Chen in the future. I didn't even dare to speak anymore. When Lin Chen said this, they naturally thought that the Tianlong continent was full of wonders, and it was not impossible for some strange monsters to be able to speak human language in advance. But even so, Dugu Tonghai also knew that Lin Chen's mount was probably stronger than imagined. But as long as he is not a Beast King, it is still within the range that he and they can accept. Dugu Tonghai immediately adjusted himself, smiled again and made a gesture of please. Lin Chen was not polite and walked directly to the front. Long Qi obediently found a place to stay by himself. The servants of the city lord's mansion are also very discerning. Immediately go and bring a large amount of rich spiritual fruits to Long Qi to enjoy. Lin Chen's mount naturally enjoys different treatment. It's also the best treatment. Long Qi simply lay there and ate peacefully. Under the guidance of Dugu Tonghai, they soon arrived at the lobby of the city lord's mansion. Dugu Tonghai drives away everyone else. Only Dugu Wanqing and Uncle Fu were left, entering the meeting hall together. After inviting Lin Chen to his seat, Dugu Tonghai pointed to the boxes below and said, "Master Lin, these are all the medicinal materials you are looking for. We have sent people to collect them all and they are ready for use at any time. But Master Lin is here for the first time, so let's have a sip of tea and catch up on old times." Dugu Tonghai personally poured tea for Lin Chen. They were so polite, and Lin Chen was embarrassed to refuse. And Ida asked not a short amount of time. He took a sip of tea, put it on the table and said, "Let's stop chatting. Wanqing must have told you the purpose of my visit, right?" Lin Chen did not let Dugu Wanqing keep the matter of awakening the immortal body a secret. Dugu Tonghai should also know about this. Really? Dugu Tonghai nodded, looked at Lin Chen excitedly and said, "Wanqing has already told me that Master Lin is here to help Wanqing awaken her immortal body. I am really grateful to you. Master Lin's great kindness to Wanqing will be greatly appreciated in the future. I, Dugu Tonghai, will repay the favor by breaking my body into pieces. I just have a question, is this elemental immortal body really as powerful as Master Lin said?" Lin Chen nodded. "It's not only powerful, it's beyond your imagination. Once she awakens her immortal body, Wanqing's cultivation will make a lot of breakthroughs, and she will at least reach the true Yuan realm. After awakening the immortal body, you will receive gifts from heaven. When the time comes, your cultivation level will skyrocket." Lin Chen was sure that the true Yuan realm was the least. What? Dugu Tonghai and Uncle Fu beside him were both physically shocked. Dugu Wanqing was also in disbelief. "Although I had known that I would be different from ordinary people after awakening my immortal body. But this is too exaggerated." Dugu Tonghai also feels a bit exaggerated. But if you think about it carefully, are there many exaggerated things that happened to Lin Chen? Oddly enough, he just chose to believe it. And I felt excited. Thank you, Master Lin. If he hadn't been concerned about his identity and had Dugu Wanqing by his side, Dugu Tonghai would have knelt down for Lin Chen. Lin Chen waved his hand. "Okay, stop talking nonsense, find a quiet room, put a large wooden barrel, brew these medicinal materials for an hour, and then pour them into the barrel. Let's arrange these first, and then we can calm down and chat." Hearing this, Dugu Tonghai didn't hesitate at all. Send people to do these things yourself immediately. After that, he poured tea for Lin Chen again. He said, Master Lin, everything has been arranged, but it still needs some time. Why don't you give some guidance to Wanqing and us? Lin Chen heard this. He looked at Dugu Tonghai and Uncle Fu again, knowing that they probably also practiced the Xingqian Xuanyuan Ju. But I didn't care, nodding. Okay, if you don't understand anything, just ask. Anyway, it will take some time to wait for the medicinal ingredients to be cooked. Lin Chen didn't mind giving them some guidance, especially Dugu Wanqing. Instructing her to practice by yourself can also increase her affinity. Dugu Tonghai and Fu Bo suddenly became excited, because Dugu Wanqing had just acquired the technique, even though her talent and understanding were pretty good. But it was far inferior to Lin Chen. Even Dugu Wanqing felt happy. After that, he asked Lin Chen some questions about cultivation one after another. Lin Chen's casual guidance benefited the three of them a lot, and Dugu Wanqing's original affinity level of 35 soared to 60. Ding! Congratulations to the host and the apprentice for reaching 60 elemental fairy body affinity, and receiving a resurrection talisman as a stage reward. Lin Chen was stunned. Unexpectedly, I received the reward before the affinity reached 100. And it's a resurrection talisman. If it reaches 100, I'm afraid the reward you'll get is even more powerful than the resurrection talisman. Lin Chen was even more excited. Sure enough, there is nothing wrong with increasing the relationship with your apprentice. In just this hour, Dugu Wanqing admired Lin Chen even more. Although he only regarded Lin Chen as a peer before, even being his apprentice made Dugu Wanqing feel weird. But now there is no doubt that this idea is gone, and my master seems to be omnipotent. She has a profound understanding of the technique, which makes her admire him immensely. Is there anything else you don't understand? What about you, Wanqing? If there's anything you don't understand, just ask. Dugu Wanqing shook her head when she heard this. Master, there are indeed many things that the disciple does not understand, but the master has told the disciple so much, the disciple has not yet understood everything and is biting off more than he can chew. If you understand what you have learned now, you can ask the master again later. No matter how powerful Dugu Wanqing is, she is still just a person. There is no way to compare with Lin Chen, a loser. Lin Chen's casual guidance was enough for Dugu Wanqing to comprehend for a long time. Accepting any more words would only confuse her brain. Even Dugu Wanqing is like this, let alone Dugu Tonghai and Uncle Fu, who are even worse in talent and understanding. Both of them shook their heads, and Dugu Tonghai said, Young Master Lin is really a heavenly being. Our understanding is not as good as Wanqing's. Even Wanqing said so. We only need to ask Wanqing for advice in the future. Lin Chen was slightly disappointed. He also wanted to get enough affinity at once. But is true when you think about it. He has been guiding for such a long time, and it is already remarkable that Dugu Wanqing can remember it. Dugu Tonghai and Fu Bo looked confused just now, and their minds were probably in a mess. The star Xuanyuan Ju itself is more mysterious than other techniques. Lin Chen also knew not to act too hastily. At this moment, someone came to report. Report to the city lord. All the medicinal materials have been brewed and poured into the wooden barrel. Hearing this, Lin Chen's eyes suddenly lit up. Dugu Tonghai and Fu Bo were still thinking about the exercises that Lin Chen had taught them before. They were puzzled by the explanation, but they also came to their senses at this moment. Dugu Tonghai immediately returned to his majestic appearance as a city lord. He nodded lightly and said, Okay, I understand, please step back. Yes, city lord. After the person who notified him retreated, Dugu Tonghai looked at Lin Chen. Master Lin, everything is ready. The barrel is in Wanqing's room. It's very quiet there. Then he looked at Dugu Wanqing and said, Wanqing, please take your master there first, and we will continue to study some of the things your master said before. We will look for you later. It will probably take a long time to awaken the immortal body. Dugu Wanqing nodded. He looked at Lin Chen and said with a smile, Master, let's go, I will take you there. Lin Chen nodded lightly and left with Dugu Wanqing. Soon they arrived at Dugu Wanqing's residence. It is a very unique and elegant small courtyard. There were originally many servants serving her, but Dugu Tonghai arranged for them to be dispersed in advance. Remember what Lin Chen said, be very quiet. Once here, Dugu Wanqing did not stop and continued walking towards her house with Lin Chen. The room was already filled with smoke. The hot water boiled from the medicinal materials looks royal blue. Dugu Wanqing gently closed the door, looked at Lin Chen and asked, Master, should I soak in directly? Lin Chen shook his head. You still need to take off your coat, otherwise the medicinal materials cannot be absorbed better. Hearing this, Dugu Wanqing's face suddenly turned red. It made her a little embarrassed. But I also knew that Lin Chen was telling the truth. She had read some pharmacology books, but wearing too many clothes really hindered absorption. After thinking about it for a while, he looked at Lin Chen and said, Master, turn around. Lin Chen thought it was something. She wasn't completely naked, but she didn't expect that this little girl was quite coy. He turned around slightly and said, Okay, let's get started. After seeing Lin Chen turn around, Dugu Wanqing took off her coat, wearing a white bellyband with flowers embroidered on it. After looking at Lin Chen again, he quickly jumped into the barrel. As soon as I soaked in it, I felt a burning sensation all over my body. A stream of special force penetrated into her body. At this moment, Lin Chen turned his head when he heard the sound. Seeing only one head exposed in the barrel, Dugu Wanqing said, Don't panic. It's normal for you to feel hot in your body. You are awakening your immortal body. There is no danger. Don't worry, your master, I will always be by your side. I can save you in time if you are in danger. From now on, you run the Xingqian Xuanyuan Ju to accelerate the absorption of the medicinal properties in the barrel, but remember not to do it too hastily and do it step by step. Hearing Lin Chen's words, Dugu Wanqing suddenly realized. There was a sudden feeling of relief. Ding, congratulations to the host and the elemental immortal body's affinity +10. Suddenly there was a system beep. The original affinity with Dugu Wanqing was 60, but now it is 70. Lin Chen didn't expect it. Comforting Dugu Wanqing can actually gain so much affinity. Since it was useful, Lin Chen felt that there was nothing wrong with him talking more. Simply moved a stool. He sat directly beside Dugu Wanqing's wooden barrel and started talking. They were all words of comfort and some jokes to make Dugu Wanqing relax as much as possible. Don't tell me yet. It actually works. It didn't take long for the affinity to reach 80. Just as Lin Chen continued to speak, mysterious light runes suddenly appeared on Dugu Wanqing's body, intertwined together, and then emitted colorful light. Lin Chen stopped immediately, knowing that the elemental immortal body has begun to fully awaken. Naturally, Dugu Wanqing cannot be disturbed at this time. Dugu Wanqing felt it herself. Silently circulate the star Xuanyuan Ju. Keeping Lin Chen's words in mind, he moved slowly and unhurriedly. She felt like something was being pressed inside her body, as if it was being lifted bit by bit. That feeling made her feel happy, as if this is what he originally looked like. The smooth feeling of the checkpoints being opened made her face glow red. The power in the body is also rising rapidly, and the cultivation level is soaring. She was originally at the 6th level of Qi refining, 7th level of Qi refining, 8th level of Qi refining. Skip the 9th level of Qi refining directly and advance to the 10th level of Qi refining. Boom. 1st level of body tempering realm. 2nd level of body tempering realm. Then it continued to rise. It's like riding a rocket. Continuously improve your cultivation. Even Dugu Wanqing himself couldn't believe that he could do this. This feeling of rapid improvement in cultivation simply made her feel crazy with joy. For the first time, I discovered that I really was such a genius. Master. Dugu Wanqing looked at Lin Chen and wanted to say a word of thanks. But Lin Chen stopped him and said, Concentrate on awakening your elemental immortal body. If you have anything to say, we'll talk about it later. Dugu Wanqing nodded heavily, feeling that she could not live up to what Lin Chen had done for her. Immediately concentrate on running the star Xuanyuan Ju, close your eyes, and completely enter the state of mind without two things. Ding, the affinity between the host and the elemental immortal body is +10. The system prompt sounded suddenly, making Lin Chen smile slightly. Unexpectedly, the affinity level increased so quickly, and it was only 10 points away. Dugu Wanqing was happily awakening her elemental immortal body, while Lin Chen watched from the side. Little did he know that the outside world was now completely in turmoil. The awakening of the immortal body will give birth to visions of heaven and earth. At this moment, there was lightning and thunder in the sky over the entire Yan city. Waves of colorful clouds floated towards the city lord's palace. Everyone in Yancheng saw it. Oh my God, what happened? Is the world going to end? Such a celestial phenomenon has never appeared in Yancheng. What happened? Is it possible that there is a strong person who wants to destroy our Yan city? Probably not. Look at the colorful clouds, all floating towards the direction of the city lord's mansion. Really, what happened in the city lord's mansion? Could it be that a treasure of heaven and earth was born? It's not impossible. Such an auspicious vision must be the birth of a treasure. Could it be that the city lord's mansion is also a treasure? There were waves of discussion, but no one would have thought that this was Dugu Wanqing awakening her immortal body. And this vision of heaven and earth has only just begun. The people near the city lord's palace saw it more realistically and were even more shocked. The colorful clouds were clearly visible floating towards the city lord's palace. Let people marvel. But at this moment, Dugu Tonghai has placed heavy guards around the city lord's mansion. Naturally, these people can only watch and dare not enter. Dugu Tonghai had known before, from Dugu Wanqing's mouth, that when the elemental immortal body was awakened, strange phenomena of heaven and earth might be born. Prepared early. At this moment, it is possible to prevent others from prying. Chapter 51. And inside the city lord's palace, Long Qi, who was lying on the ground basking in the sun and eating spiritual fruit, also sat up all of a sudden. The dragon's eyes widened. He looked in shock at the direction where the colorful clouds were gathering. My dear, is this the legendary awakening of the immortal body? The young master is really powerful. He can actually accept the immortal body as his disciple and help others awaken the immortal body. On the way here, Long Qi had already curiously asked Lin Chen what he wanted to do. Lin Chen didn't bother to hide it and directly told it about the immortal body. After all, Long Qi is a member of the Dragon Clan. Although he is not worth mentioning in the Dragon Clan, he is just a little fool. But that was also a member of Shenlong. Naturally, he has a lot of knowledge. I have heard of the existence of immortal bodies. I know that this kind of physique is rare to see in thousands of years. What's even more frightening is that the method of awakening the immortal body has almost been lost. Very few people know. Most immortal bodies usually look like ordinary people and are almost difficult to detect. Only some people with great luck can awaken the immortal body through some unexpected opportunities. To find the immortal body, you must have a method to awaken the immortal body. It can be said that it is almost impossible to do. The right time, right place, and right people must be in place. The rarity of the immortal body is rare in the entire Tianlong continent. The preciousness of its visions of heaven and earth is even more unimaginable. It was also the first time for Long Qi to see him, so he had gained a lot of experience. Even if it means spitting out the uneaten spiritual fruit in his mouth. He stood up and murmured, "This is the awakening of the immortal body. You may not see it once in 10,000 years. I have to go and take a look. I heard that the awakening of the immortal body can communicate with the laws of heaven, and it may also be beneficial to my cultivation. But we can't miss this opportunity. Anyway, he is the young master's apprentice, that is, my young master Long Qi. Let's see if there is nothing wrong with him." Long Qi quickly headed towards the other courtyard where Dugu Wanqing was. "I want to observe the awakening of the immortal body up close." The servant who came to deliver the spiritual fruit to it only saw a black shadow flash past and sat down on the ground in fright. When I saw Long Qi disappear, I wiped away the cold sweat and realized what was going on. I feel like this monster is really scary. And at this moment, Dugu Tonghai and Fu Bo were also attracted by this vision. Already arrived outside Dugu Wanqing's other courtyard. Both of them remembered Lin Chen's words that Dugu Wanqing needed to be quiet. So I didn't go in. Just watch from the outside and don't let others in to prevent any accidents. At this moment, I was also watching with anticipation, joy and nervousness the colorful clouds in the sky, constantly surrounding Dugu Wanqing's room. It looks extremely gorgeous. Is this my daughter's immortal body? I never discovered it, and I always thought that my daughter was not talented. It's really stupid. Dugu Tonghai also shook his head in shame. I feel really sorry for Dugu Wanqing. If it weren't for Lin Chen's appearance, Dugu Wanqing might have been buried in this life. His gratitude to Lin Chen had reached its peak. Looking at Uncle Fu, he said, "Afu, Wanqing's awakening of the immortal body is still going on. We must defend this place and not let anyone enter." "Yes, Lord City Lord," Uncle Fu responded and stood up straight. Together with Dugu Tonghai, he acted as a guard. The visions of heaven and earth continue. And it became more and more gorgeous, and the entire sky above the city lord's mansion was covered by colorful clouds. Everyone in Yancheng was looking up. And in the sky above the colorful clouds, there was lightning and thunder, as if celebrating the awakening of the immortal body. But at this moment, a voice suddenly sounded over the other courtyard. "Dugu Tonghai, I didn't expect that it was your daughter who was awakening her immortal body. It seems that I came at the right time." After the words fell, black shadows fell in front of Dugu Tonghai and Uncle Fu. The leader was wearing a black robe and had a sinister look on his face. It was none other than the Lord of Laiyan Castle, Ouyang Yongkuo. He originally came to seize half of the low-grade earth-level skills that Dugu Tonghai had obtained before. "I didn't expect to hear such chilling news. Immortal body." Ouyang Yongkuo once accidentally heard the legend about the immortal body. We know how difficult it is to give birth to a fairy body. How terrifying is the immortal body. Every immortal body will eventually become the top figure in this Tianlong continent. That is not a level that they, who are as small as ants in Yancheng, can understand. Fortunately, he came today. Otherwise, once Dugu Wanqing awakens his immortal body, he will advance very quickly, and he will become a scumbag soon. No matter how awesome Thunder Cloud Castle is, it doesn't dare to compare with immortal body. He and Dugu Tonghai had competed for skills. Dugu Wanqing will never let herself go. Instead of waiting to be destroyed, what if you destroy an immortal body first? Dugu Tonghai also narrowed his eyes. I didn't expect that Ouyang Yongkuo would come at this time. And I heard the conversation between him and Forbes just now. I learned about Dugu Wanqing's immortal body. However, Dugu Tonghai had never been afraid of anyone from Laiyan Castle before. He is now half-step innate, and he is practicing the Xingxing Xuanyuan Ju, which is at least a heaven-level technique. In his eyes, Ouyang Yongkuo was just trash. He has long been ignored. Hearing Ouyang Yongkuo's words, Dugu Tonghai said disdainfully, "You are indeed here at the right time. My daughter Wanqing has awakened her immortal body today, so I will use your blood to celebrate her." For Ouyang Yongkuo, Dugu Tonghai would not let him go if he encountered him. "Ha ha ha, today is different from the past. Since I dare to come, I naturally have the confidence. Dugu Tonghai, look at my current cultivation." Ouyang Yongkuo had a wanton laugh on his face. The next moment, he exuded a great momentum. The body also slowly rose into the air. Fly in the air. This is something that can only be achieved by the innate realm. All the masters from Laiyan Castle who came with Ouyang Yongkuo were looking at Dugu Tonghai and Uncle Fu with joking eyes. Dugu Tonghai was indeed surprised. Ouyang Yongkuo, who was at the 5th level of True Yuan realm just like him not long ago, even suffered serious injuries. But we haven't seen each other for a few days, and he has become an innate powerhouse. He had practiced the Xingxin Xuanyuan Ju, and was only half a step ahead of his innate abilities, which made Dugu Tonghai very puzzled. But there was no fear in my heart. Although he is half-step innate, the technique he can practice is the Star Xuanyuan Ju given by Lin Chen, and he already has the strength to fight across levels. What would happen if we just let Ouyang Yongkuo quip for a while? Ouyang Yongkuo was still smiling proudly, and at the same time explained why he was able to achieve such a level of cultivation in such a short period of time. Dugu Tonghai, you haven't thought about it, but I passed by a cave yesterday and got a chance to get a treasure pill. Not only did it repair my injuries, but it also allowed me to break through to the early stage of innateness. Now you are just a chicken and a dog in front of me. Today, not only will your daughter not be able to awaken her immortal body, but you will also die. I advise you to obediently hand over the remaining half of your earth-level skills. Maybe I will leave you with a whole corpse." Although Ouyang Yongkuo's cultivation level has been promoted to the early stage of Shantian. But because it was with the help of treasure pills, the exercises were still the same as before. Naturally, He is still very greedy for this earth-level technique. Dugu Tonghai suddenly understood. This is the case in Tianlong continent. An ordinary novice may accidentally obtain a panacea, which can suddenly improve the cultivation level that others have spent decades and hundreds of years cultivating. This Ouyang Yunkuo is obviously a lucky person. It's a pity that when compared with myself, it is completely inadequate. What kind of opportunity could be greater than meeting Lin Chen? Ouyang Yunkuo will never understand this. After hearing this, Dugu Tonghai took out half of the earth-level inferior skills from his arms and threw them out to Ouyang Yunkuo as casually as if he were throwing them to a beggar. This kind of rubbish technique can be given to you if you want it. Just think of it as a burial gift for you. It must be very suitable for you to carry this rubbish earth-level technique into the coffin. Dugu Tonghai said lightly. His eyes were full of disdain. I don't know if it's an illusion. At this time, Ouyang Yunkuo felt that he was not an innate strong man, but more like a beggar on the roadside. The people following him also suddenly had this absurd feeling. Extremely unreal. This half of the low-level earth-level skills was obtained by Dugu Tonghai after fighting for half his life. Naturally, I cherish it very much. Although Lin Chen gave Dugu Wanqing the opportunity to practice the martial arts. But he was still a little worried and reluctant to part with it, so he kept it on his body. However, as he practiced the Xingqian Xuanyuan Ju, he realized how rubbish this earth-level low-grade technique really was. What a piece of shit. Can what I practiced before be called a skill? Worse than shit. Today's Dugu Tonghai naturally doesn't care about this kind of thing. It doesn't hurt to throw it away casually. Even the entire earth-level technique is nothing more than waste paper in his eyes. This was the confidence that Lin Chen's Xingqian Xuanyuan Ju gave him. But Ouyang Yunkuo didn't know. I couldn't help but shake my head. The palm of his hand has already instinctively taken over half of the low-grade earth-level skills. After looking through it carefully, he naturally did not believe in Dugu Tonghai and was worried about fraud. Then he compared the half of the exercises he brought with him. Then I was sure it was real. There was a burst of ecstasy on his face. This is an earth-level low-level skill, and I don't know how many people flocked to it. Ouyang Yunkuo was convinced that the technique was real, but he didn't like what Dugu Tonghai said. Looking at Dugu Tonghai and Uncle Fu, Ouyang Yunkuo had a look of displeasure on his face. Dugu Tonghai, are you crazy? I really can't figure it out. What qualifications do you, a 5th-level true Yuan realm, have in front of the lord of this castle? Say this. Now you are like an ant in front of me. Ouyang Yunkuo not only wanted to kill people, but also wanted to kill people. Otherwise, he always feels weird. Oh, really? Then look at whether my cultivation level is at the 5th level of the true Yuan realm. Dugu Tonghai had a mocking expression on his face, and a surge of momentum erupted from his body. His cultivation was also completely exposed. Half a step to innateness. Ouyang Yunkuo and the others in Leiyunbao were really surprised. Even Ouyang Yunkuo, if he hadn't received such a great opportunity, knew that he would have no hope of breaking through his innate abilities in this life. But Dugu Tonghai actually stepped in with half of his own foot. Fortunately he is here. If you come late, wait until Dugu Tonghai sets foot on Shantian. I'm afraid that with his level of cultivation improved by taking pills, there is no way he can be Dugu Tonghai's opponent. Thinking of this, Ouyang Yunkuo no longer hesitated. Take a decisive action directly towards Dugu Tonghai. He drank softly. What a Dugu Tonghai, you are really talented. If I give you some more time, I'm afraid I will fall into your hands. What a pity, today will be your death, ah. Before the date of death was announced, Ouyang Yunkuo screamed. The whole person was directly stepped on the ground by Dugu Tonghai, spitting out blood. Dugu Tonghai only used one move. He easily defeated Ouyang Yunkuo, who was in the innate realm. Everyone in Leiyan Castle was trembling all over. Fight across levels. This word was like a heavy hammer hitting the hearts of everyone in Leiyan Castle. They all took a step back and looked at this scene in horror. Ouyang Yunkuo was also trembling all over, feeling regretful in his heart. Although he didn't understand how Dugu Tonghai did it, he was scared. Death feels so close. Dugu Tonghai glanced at Ouyang Yunkuo with disdain and said, do you know? If you had come 2 days earlier, I might have lost to you. Unfortunately, In these 2 days, I have gained opportunities beyond your imagination. Can you tell me what the opportunity is? Hearing this, Ouyang Yunkuo knew that he had no chance of survival. Ask the last doubt in your heart. Heaven-level skills. Dugu Tonghai did not hide it, and he and Lei Yunbao refused to deal with each other, and they had been in a stalemate for so many years. I plan to give my old rival a decent face. What? Boom. Ouyang Yunkuo only had time to finally open his eyes wide with shock, and his heart was shattered by Dugu Tonghai's kick. A generation of Thunder Cloud Castle lords perished in this way. Everyone in Leiyan Castle was also sluggish. Tian level technique. It's over. We will not be spared after hearing such news. Escape. Everyone in Leiyan Castle knows what the heavenly level cultivation technique means. It is the most top-notch technique in the entire Tianlong continent. It was impossible for Dugu Tonghai to let them leak the news. At the first moment, these people greased their feet and jumped up one after another to escape. Uncle Fu smiled sinisterly at this moment. Lord City Lord, leave these people to me. Fu Bo is at the 5th level of the True Yuan realm, but he also practices the Star Xuanyuan Ju. In addition, Lin Chen had just given guidance. Even he himself is unable to defeat ordinary innate experts. It's just that he doesn't know how to fly in the air yet. But deal with these people. Enough. There were bursts of screams. It didn't take too long. Even a little too relaxed. Everyone in Leiyan Castle was wiped out. Fu Bo also looked at his hands in disbelief. As if he didn't believe that he could possess such a powerful power. Many of those people were at the 5th level of the True Essence realm at the same level as him. But he was still killed instantly. The skills given by Lin Chen are too strong. It's so strong that even pigs can take off after practicing. Not to mention them. Finish these. Fu Bo skillfully packed up the corpses and piled them aside. Lin Chen from the province came out and saw this ominous scene. And at this time, in Dugu Wanqing's room, Lin Chen was waiting quietly by her side. Boom. 1st level of the True Element realm. In just a short period of time, with the awakening of Dugu Wanqing's immortal body, she directly broke through to the 1st level of the True Essence realm. And his cultivation level is still soaring. After all, this is the first time to help someone awaken their immortal body. Lin Chen didn't know what level of cultivation he would eventually reach. But that's not the most important thing. What's more important is that once she awakens her immortal body, Dugu Wanqing's cultivation level will soar rapidly. In a very short period of time, he reached the ultimate level of cultivation. This is the power of the immortal body. Compared with the future, the current improvement in cultivation is insignificant. After all, it becomes more difficult to improve your cultivation as you go forward. Lin Chen, who knew this well, was not too surprised when he saw this scene and watched everything silently. Boom. There was a sudden explosion in the sky. It's like setting off firecrackers. It's just that this firecracker is extremely huge. The sound of heaven celebrating the birth of the immortal body. Lin Chen in the house couldn't help but raise his head when he heard this. Dugu Wanqing didn't realize anything because she had completely entered the state of meditating and awakening her immortal body at this moment. Lin Chen didn't go out either, knowing that it was the effect of the heaven and earth phenomena produced by the immortal body. He must guard Dugu Wanqing firmly and not allow any accidents to happen. Although the birth of the vision of heaven and earth will communicate the laws of heaven. But it was of no use to him. I'm too lazy to go see it. But at this moment, the outside world is exploding again. It's not just the sky above the entire city lord's mansion. At this moment, the entire sky over Yancheng is filled with colorful clouds, and at the same time, the elemental power of various colors converges into a torrent in the air, constantly shining with magnificent light. The elemental immortal body is extremely compatible with all elements in this world. This is a unique phenomenon of the elemental immortal body. Others didn't know, they just watched in shock and numbness. At the same time, around the torrent, there were laws of heaven and earth surrounding it, which looked so mysterious that even people who didn't understand it were mesmerized. Many people with relatively high understanding can understand it even though they cannot understand it. Breakthrough in cultivation directly on the spot. This scene quickly spread throughout Yancheng. Everyone in Yancheng was amazed. Oh my God, what a great opportunity. Thank you, Lord City Lord. Although I don't know what happened, I have been in the first level of the true essence realm for many years, and my cultivation has long been stagnant, but now I have made a breakthrough. I have a breakthrough too. Don't miss this opportunity, practice as soon as possible. In an instant, a strange scene appeared in the entire Yan city. Many people just went to the street and sat cross-legged on the ground to practice. Of course, there is no need to say more about the people from the major families. Immediately notify all families to start practicing on the spot. And Dugu Tonghai and Fubo are no exception. I was also shocked by this law of heaven and started practicing immediately. Many of the things that Lin Chen didn't understand before were easily solved. The Xingqian Xuanyuan Ju operates more smoothly. Boom. Originally, Dugu Tonghai was only one step away from the innate realm. It didn't take long at this moment to break through directly. Officially entering the innate realm, the whole person was sublimated. The strength is raised to a new level. Dugu Tonghai was pleasantly surprised. I never thought that one day I would be so interested in my daughter. Long Qi, who had come all the way before, stopped outside the courtyard. He said speechlessly, "It turns out that the law of heaven covers such a wide range. If I had known it, I wouldn't have come here, and it would have cost me half of my strength. Now that you're here, let's just learn and practice here." This kind of law of heaven, let alone ordinary people, is a great opportunity that can only be encountered by the Dragon Clan and countless powerful people on the Tianlong continent. Especially the stronger the person, the more benefits they will have. Long Qi is undoubtedly the strongest person in Yancheng now. Naturally, it will not miss this opportunity. Just lie down on the ground to practice and gain enlightenment. Everything was going on in an orderly manner, and no one bothered me. The entire Yancheng suddenly fell into silence. As everyone knows, the scene in Yancheng at this moment can be seen by people from thousands of miles around. Naturally, there is no need to say more about the people in the nearby cities, although they can't see it clearly in Yancheng. But it is the law of heaven after all. I don't know when it disappeared. They also started to practice and gain enlightenment one after another. Although the effect was less, they didn't care about it. And those powerful forces that had been supported by various cities for a long time also opened their eyes one after another. Baiyun Mountain. An old man with white beard and hair, dressed in cloth, sat quietly on the top of the mountain. At this moment, he suddenly opened his eyes. Bai Zizai, the sect leader of Baiyun Mountain, looked in the direction of Yancheng in shock. This. Such a strange phenomenon in the world, like the birth of an immortal body mentioned in ancient books. Looking at the scope of the vision, it should be within 1,000 miles. Within this 1,000 miles, Baiyun Mountain, are the top forces. If we can take the opportunity to invite the immortal body to join our Baiyun Mountain, then our Baiyun Mountain will inevitably rise and become the superpower of this Tianlong continent in the future. What a great opportunity. I need to leave as soon as possible. Think about it this way. Bai Zizai didn't notify anyone, and immediately took to the air, stepped on his most proud top-level spiritual weapon, the long sword, and rushed towards Yancheng. At the same time, Black Sand Valley, the owner of Haisha Valley, Hong Tianxi, wearing a python robe, he suddenly looked in the direction of Yancheng. He looked excited. Oh my God, if the immortal is born, if I can accept him as a disciple, the Black Sand Valley, will not dominate the Tianlong continent in the future. Without further delay, let's set off immediately. Same moment, all major forces within 1,000 miles radius rushed towards Yancheng. Suddenly the storm gathered. The people who went there were all the mainstays of the sect leaders of the major forces. The speed of traveling can be said to be beyond imagination. They all used their own spiritual weapons to speed up their journey. In less than half an hour, one after another arrived at Yancheng. At this moment, the laws and visions of heaven are still continuing. But many have stopped. After all, most people have average talents. The stronger the person, the longer it takes to realize it. Otherwise, you will be harmed by the laws of heaven. It's possible to get carried away. And when almost everyone stopped, they saw a shocking scene. Over the entire Yancheng, streams of light flew quickly. It's like entering a mythical world. Either step on the fairy sword or sit on the gourd. Or just fly directly into the air. Everyone is like a god, and the aura exuded from their whole body makes people tremble. Innate strong man. Some people in Yancheng said this with trembling mouths. Who else can fly in the air except the innate strong ones? The goal of these people was obvious, and they rushed towards the city lord's mansion. Many people began to worry about the city lord's mansion. It's over, it's over. These people are so powerful. They must be competing for the treasures of the city lord's mansion. I'm afraid the city lord's mansion will be in trouble. Alas, I hope the city lord can be safe and sound. The city lord is still a good person. Dugu Tonghai is the lord of Yancheng. On weekdays, the management of Yancheng is extremely fair, allowing the people of Yancheng to live a relatively stable life. So he won the favor of many people. At this time, Dugu Tonghai and Fubo also felt it. They can no longer understand the laws of heaven. But Dugu Tonghai was already very satisfied. Not only did he officially step into Shantian, he was also completely stabilized. Fubo also advanced to the half-step innate level. It is only a matter of time before one becomes an innate strong person. Only Long Qi is left and continues to comprehend. Because it is the strongest, it takes longer to comprehend. Close your eyes and quietly comprehend and practice. Quite focused. Dugu Tonghai and Fubo were also shocked when they saw this scene. This is enough to show that Long Qi's cultivation strength far exceeds theirs. Monsters and humans are the same. The more powerful they are, the longer they can comprehend the laws of heaven. However, Dugu Tonghai and Fubo looked at the sky after being shocked. The brows were all furrowed. What they were most worried about happened. It took a long time for Dugu Wancheng's immortal body to awaken. And the movement was really too loud, attracting all the big forces that they wouldn't even see on a daily basis. I don't know if Dugu Tonghai is a blessing or a curse. But as long as these people want to influence his daughter, he will risk his life to stop them. Swish swish. The streams of light came to another courtyard and stopped. Looking at Dugu Wancheng's closed door, his eyes were filled with heat. They knew that the immortal body was in the room. They can already feel the immortal charm and power emanating from the immortal body. He also noticed the laws of heaven in the sky. Although I am very excited, no one is practicing at this time. Because they know that compared with these, the immortal body is the greatest treasure. If anyone can get the immortal body, in the future, it will be like stepping half-foot into the top of Tianlong continent. Just take away the immortal body and establish a deep relationship with the immortal body. Even if you hide in the mountains and wait for your immortal body to grow, you will be able to benefit from it in the future. Everyone knew this and looked at others warily. No one wants to give up. Dugu Tonghai had made such a heavy determination in his heart before. But when I really felt the terrifying aura emanating from these people, I felt a beat in my heart. The lowest ones are much higher than his cultivation level. At least it is innate Dzogchen. There are dozens of such people. Who wouldn't be afraid after watching this? In particular, the auras of 3 people seemed to have transcended innateness, making people feel like needles pricking their eyes at a glance. He has just broken through the innate. Even if he can fight across levels with the Xingqian Xuanyuanju, he is still no match for these people. Although the purpose of these people is already known, Dugu Tonghai still suppressed the fear in his heart. He cupped his hands in front of everyone and said, I wonder why the seniors suddenly came to my city lord's mansion. Everyone immediately looked at Dugu Tonghai. Bai Yunshan Bai Zizai looked at Dugu Tonghai and asked calmly, are you the lord of this city? Dugu Tonghai didn't dare not answer. The person in front of him is one of the 3 most powerful people. Yes, this junior is the lord of Yan City. Everyone else's eyes lit up when they heard this answer. They also suddenly saw this vision and came. Since they were in the city lord's mansion, they must have something to do with the city lord. As long as they negotiate with the city lord, they might be able to obtain the immortal body directly. Thinking of this, Bai Zizai took the lead and continued to ask, what is the relationship between the person in this room and you? Dugu Tonghai felt bitter in his heart. Sure enough, these people came for his daughter Dugu Wancheng. He tried his best to pretend to be calm and said, it's my daughter. Suddenly, other people's eyes became brighter. Before Bai Zizi could continue to speak, Hong Tianxi, the owner of the Black Sand Valley, couldn't wait to say, in that case, are you willing to let your daughter join our Black Sand Valley? I will give her the best training resources. From now on, you and my city lord's palace will always be together. Make friends. Dugu Tonghai was shocked. Black Sand Valley. What a power that is. Of course he knew it. I heard that the Valley Master is already half-step into the Chi-Si realm. No wonder I felt an aura from him that far exceeded the innate realm. After the innate Dzogchen is the Chi-Si state. However, most monks will first pass through the half-step sea of Qi. Some people even get stuck in this step for life. Being able to reach the half-step Chi-Si realm is already an extremely remarkable existence. Ten Shantian Dzogchen may not necessarily be an opponent in the half-step Chi-Si realm. It can be said that it is completely a qualitative difference. Dugu Tonghai did not expect that even the owner of the Black Sand Valley would come in person. It also makes those weaker forces quite afraid. Those who can get here so quickly must be at least the sect leader level of the innate Dzogchen level. But in the eyes of Hong Tian, Shi, Bai Zizai and others who are half-step Qi realm experts, they are nothing more than local chickens and tile dogs. Hearing Hong Tianshi's words at this moment, no one dared to interrupt. But Bai Zizai couldn't tolerate him, and immediately said anxiously, I am the same at Baiyun Mountain. As long as you agree to let Ling Qianjun become my apprentice and join Baiyun Mountain, I will give you whatever you want in the future. Bai Zizai also spent a lot of money in order to obtain the immortal body. But he just finished speaking. A disdainful voice rang out. This Yan city is under my jurisdiction. Have you two crossed the line? Xie Dongtian, the master of Feiyin Pavilion, naturally cannot watch the immortal body fall into the hands of others at this moment. When Dugu Tonghai heard this, his heart skipped a beat. He had seen Xie Dongtian before, but he had never looked at him directly. It has been in the half-step Qi-Si realm for many years. The dragon has always seen its head but not its tail. What he said was correct. Yancheng did belong to Xie Dongtian's sphere of influence. There are hundreds of cities under Feiyin Pavilion, and they attack Feiyin Pavilion every year. Yancheng is just an insignificant fringe town among them. If it weren't for the importance of the immortal body this time, Xie Dongtian would not even set foot in such a place where birds don't shit. I'm also afraid of getting my shoes dirty. But at this time, Dugu Tonghai looked extremely polite. He smiled and said, I remember your name is Dugu Tonghai, right? We have met before, so we can be considered old acquaintances. My family doesn't speak the same language. As long as your daughter becomes my disciple, I will give you everything they can give you in the future, and I will give you another 100 cities at your disposal. From now on, your status is equal to mine. If anyone dares to disobey, I will be the first to kill him. I have to say that the conditions provided by Xie Dongtian are the most generous. But Dugu Tonghai also did not dare to agree. If it had been in the past, he would have been eager and even felt that his ancestors had a great opportunity. But it's different now. Dugu Wancheng was already Lin Chen's disciple. Lin Chen is extremely mysterious. He absolutely cannot and dare not agree. But Lin Chen was now at the second level of the true Yuan realm, which made Dugu Tonghai feel depressed. Although he was shocked by Lin Chen's cultivation speed. But it also takes some time. How can we fight against these people? Just when he was struggling, Bai Zizai snorted regardless of his identity, Xie Dongtian, don't fart here. Although Yan City is your subordinate force, we won't discuss this with you. I am bound to win the immortal body. Hong Tianxi also said disdainfully, we are all old foxes, let's not play with these nonsense. At worst, if our subordinates see the truth, whoever wins will take away the immortal body. After the three of them said this, they all looked like they were about to start a fight. He no longer cares about Dugu Tonghai's opinion. Ling Dugu Tonghai finally couldn't help but said, 3 seniors, please listen to the next words. Suddenly, not only 3 people, but also others looked at Dugu Tonghai. Being watched by so many strong men, Dugu Tonghai's breathing became short. However, he still forced himself to calm down and said in a deep voice, to be honest with you seniors, my little girl has already become a disciple, and now her master is helping her awaken her immortal body. I'm afraid she won't be able to meet you all. What? When the 3 of them heard this, their eyes suddenly widened and they looked at Dugu Tonghai with murderous intent. If it weren't for the worry that the immortal body was his daughter, he could have stabbed Dugu Tonghai to pieces with his eyes. Dugu Tonghai can also feel this. My calves were trembling a little, and my heart was beating wildly. He continued to lower his head and said, seniors, please leave. I have no fate with you. Dugu Tonghai didn't know how he had the courage to say these words. But after he finished speaking, he looked up at these strong men. Except for Bai Zizai, Hong Tianxi, and Xie Dongtian. Others are naturally extremely happy. I originally wanted to come over and take a look. If you can get the immortal body, your life will take off directly from where you are. But when these three people came, they could only join in the fun and admire the power of the immortal body. Now when I hear this, I guess that the master of immortal body must also be a strong man. Otherwise, why would you become a master of the immortal body? The three half-step Qi realm experts also calmed down and gradually thought of this. Resist the urge, Bai Zizai said. Since Ling Qianjun already has a master, let's wait and see what kind of person this immortal body master is. We should take a good look at him. Hong Tianxi then said. Yes, we came all the way here, naturally we can't just leave like this, but we want to see who is so capable. Xie Dongtian was about to speak. Suddenly a voice sounded, making everyone quiet down. I'm not very capable, but it's enough to deal with you scumbags. Don't make me angry. Lin Chen put his hands behind his back and gently pushed open the door with his feet and walked out. If I hadn't watched Dugu Wanqing awaken her immortal body just now. He has long wanted to come out and beat these guys. Now that Dugu Wanqing has completed awakening her immortal body, she naturally comes out to see these noisy guys. At this moment, the vision of heaven and earth in the sky is also slowly disappearing. Dugu Wanqing stood beside Lin Chen, exuding a burst of brilliance. Various elements are intertwined around her, looking like an immortal. And her soaring cultivation level was also fixed. Innate early stage. The awakening of the immortal body has improved even more than Lin Chen expected. Directly cross the true element realm and enter the early stage of Shantian. It is the true early stage of innateness, not the kind of half-step innateness. At this moment, Dugu Wanqing looked at herself in disbelief. She was so powerful. So powerful that she didn't even recognize herself. I never thought I would be so powerful one day. In one day, the awakened immortal body directly breaks through to the innate realm. Completed decades of hard work by ordinary geniuses. This is the power of the immortal body. Otherwise, Bai Zizai and the others would not even understand the laws of heaven, just to obtain the immortal body. Because the immortal body itself will drive the laws of heaven in the future practice. They would not do this kind of behavior of abandoning the car to save the handsome man. As long as you get the immortal body, you will have whatever you want in the future. Dugu Tonghai was also trembling with excitement. He worked hard for many years before he broke through to the early stage of innateness. Even without Lin Chen's star Xuanyuanju, he might have no hope in this life. But Dugu Wanqing did it in one day. This further strengthened Dugu Tonghai's determination to support Lin Chen. No matter what, we cannot let these people take Dugu Wanqing away. Upon hearing these arrogant words, everyone looked at Lin Chen. I wonder who is so loud. However, when they saw that Lin Chen's cultivation was only at the second level of the true Yuan realm, everyone fell into a daze. I read that right, this guy should only be at the second level of the true essence realm. Who gave him the courage? I thought I was the only one who was blind, but it seems it's true. Who is this person, standing so close to the immortal body? Could he be his master? Impossible, this kind of cultivation is not even as good as the immortal body. 3.5 steps into the sea of Qi, he was still in a daze. A group of Shantian Dzogchen sect masters started discussing. In the end, everyone confirmed this fact from Dugu Wanqing's mouth. Dugu Wanqing looked at Lin Chen and asked in surprise, Master, who are these people? Just before Dugu Wanqing completely awakened her immortal body, she entered a state of complete trance. Little did he know that these people were already fighting over her. Hiss. After hearing Dugu Wanqing's words, everyone took a deep breath. I really can't figure out how a master with a dignified immortal body could be at the second level of the true Yuan realm. Bai Zizai, Hong Tianxi and Xie Dongtian felt even more insulted. As long as Lin Chen's cultivation level was higher, they would say hello and then leave. But with this level of cultivation, it is simply a daydream to let them give up their immortal bodies. Hong Tianxi laughed disdainfully, with wantonness and disdain, ha 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 ha. A second-level true Yuan realm dared to talk to us like this. He also pretended to be a master of the immortal body. Today I am really, my eyes are opened. Boy, get out of here. I don't even bother to do anything to you. When Lin Chen heard this, he didn't rush to refute. He just answered Dugu Wanqing's question first. They are here to rob you and want to accept you as their disciple. What? Dugu Wanqing was shocked, and directly grabbed Lin Chen's arm and said, Master, I don't want to bow to anyone but you. This scene is also the envy of all the powerful people watching. I don't know what Lin Chen is capable of, relying on such a low level of cultivation to make the immortal body so desperate. They couldn't figure it out. But that doesn't stop them from thinking about killing Lin Chen. They can accept whoever gets this immortal body, but they cannot let this guy be the master of the immortal body. Totally insulting to them. Lin Chen ignored these people's thoughts and glanced at Hong Tianxi lightly. Do you think this young master will take action against a scum like you? Puff. Hong Tianxi almost vomited blood. A person at the second level of the true Yuan realm actually spoke like this to someone who was at the half-step Qi Si realm. Hong Tianxi also turned pale for a while. Okay, if that's the case, then go die. Hong Tianxi took action decisively. How powerful is a person who is half-step into the Qi Si realm? Far beyond the innate Zouchen. In just an instant, the attack was in front of Lin Chen. But Lin Chen didn't move at all, still holding his hands behind his back. Dugu Wanqing beside her moved. A palm met Hong Tianxi's full-strength palm in anger. Boom, boom, strong fluctuations impacted all around. Hong Tianxi's figure rolled backwards instantly. Dugu Wanqing also took 2 steps back, but quickly stabilized. The elemental immortal body has become extraordinary after awakening. Coupled with the star Xuanyuan Ju given by Lin Chen, he can directly cross the level and win half a step to the front line of the Qi Si realm. Everyone looked at this scene with their bodies trembling. Wanqing. The shock of Dugu Tonghai far exceeds that of others. He is now in the early stage of Shantian, and has even practiced the star Xuanyuan technique. But at most it's tied with the innate mid-term. But Dugu Wanqing was too terrifying. At the early stage of Shantian, he was able to overcome even half a step in the Qi Si realm without falling behind. This will happen in the future. Dugu Tonghai seemed to have seen himself following Zhongguang and standing at the top of the Tianlong continent in the future. A scene where countless strong men kneeled down and worshipped. There is no need to say more about others. My heart felt like it had been rubbed dozens of times by a heavy hammer. If they weren't all the lowest innate experts, my heart wouldn't be able to bear it at this moment. Hong Tianxi's face turned red for a while. She looked at Dugu Wanqing with some fear. Is this the power of the immortal body? The legend is indeed true. Each generation of immortal bodies is a figure who suppresses an era. Bai Zizai was also watching from the side. The shock in my heart is indescribable. I thought that the immortal body had just awakened and would not be their opponent. It would be best if they could be accepted as their disciples. But now this scene appears. How could they be qualified to accept him as a disciple? It won't be long before the immortal body will surpass them. There is no need to even rise to the same level as them. As long as they reach the middle stage of Shantian, the 3.5-step Qihai realm combined will not be Dugu Wanqing's opponent. Bai Zizai secretly sent a message. Brother Hong, Brother Xie, why don't we work together to kill the immortal body? It seems impossible for the immortal body to accept us as its master, but it has just awakened. If the 3 of us join forces, we will definitely be able to defeat it. I have read in ancient books that by taking the blood of the immortal body, the physical talent of ordinary people can be improved dozens of times. When the time comes, the 3 of us will share it equally, and we will be able to achieve great success in the future. If this immortal body is allowed to grow, it will definitely not be able to accommodate us in the future, and sooner or later we will be unlucky. What Bai Zizai said makes sense. Dugu Wanqing is within this sphere of influence. Once the immortal body is allowed to grow in the future, they will have no choice but to surrender. And the 3 of them were the first to be stabbed. Bai Zizai's idea is very simple. If you can't get it, destroy it. While there's still a chance. It is also good to get the blood of the immortal body. As for Lin Chen, in his eyes he was just a scumbag, and he didn't even bother to pay attention to him. It's just good luck that he was accepted as his disciple before his immortal body was awakened. Others thought so too. After hearing Bai Zizai's words, Hong Tianxi and Xie Dongtian really started to think. At this time, Dugu Wanqing, who forced Hong Tianxi back with a palm, was also stunned. He looked at his hands in disbelief. She could feel the powerful aura of Hong Tianxi and the three of them. Know that they are far beyond the innate realm. But he actually won. I just saw someone attacking Lin Chen, and I instinctively wanted to block the attack for Lin Chen. Lin Chen was not surprised. But I didn't expect that Dugu Wanqing would suddenly take action. Even if Dugu Wanqing didn't take action, Lin Chen had Qingyunzi Jinyi and 5 super skills running at the same time, so he didn't have to move at all. Master. Why am I so powerful? Dugu Wanqing felt excited. Too strong. She feels like she can do anything now. Moreover, it is extremely friendly to the surrounding elements, especially when the star Xuanyuanju is running, the feeling is even stronger. Feeling able to tap into the forces around you. Anyone would be excited to suddenly gain such a powerful power. Lin Chen smiled and waved his hands and said, "What does this mean?" This is just the beginning. The immortal body will become more and more powerful with practice, far exceeding other bodies. Coupled with the skills I gave you, you will become the top being in the Tianlong continent in a short time. Dugu Wanqing's face also turned red, filled with joy. At this moment, others naturally had no doubts when they heard this. But when Lin Chen said this, they were very disdainful. The words of a person at the second level of the true Yuan realm made everyone feel like he was bragging. Bai Zizai and Hong Tianxi had already taken advantage of their conversation to come towards Dugu Wanqing. As long as they take the immortal body and drink its blood, even if they cannot stand at the top of the Tianlong continent, they can still become the second level. That's enough. Xie Dongtian was still a little hesitant. He always felt that doing so would harm the world. If possible, he still wants to accept the immortal body as his disciple. Just such hesitation. Many sect leaders from Shantian Dzogchen also followed. Even a drop of the immortal body's blood is priceless. You might be able to drink some soup. Haha, such a great opportunity cannot come in vain. Almost half of the people followed by Zizai and Hong Tianxi. Everyone wants a piece of the pie, but not everyone has a bottom line. The blood of the immortal body is too tempting for them. But this also doomed them to destruction. At this moment, Lin Chen also noticed the movements of these people. Guess what these people are thinking? But he didn't care at all. With a disdainful smile on his face, I said that I will not take action against you scum. Long Qi. Lin Chen gave a light drink. The dragon is here. A dull sound exploded at this moment. Deal with them, Lin Chen said lightly. Yes, master. In an instant, there was a sweeping powerful force, with a scalp-numbing heat wave that made everyone sluggish. Those who were rushing towards Lin Chen and Dugu Wanqing also stopped and turned their heads. Suddenly they saw a scene that made their liver and gallbladder split. A huge creature was suspended in the sky above the entire courtyard at the moment, with a pair of eyes as big as wooden barrels. The whole body is wrapped in black and red flames. The ferocious and violent aura makes people tremble just by looking at it. Just now, Long Qi had been silently comprehending the laws of heaven. It blends in with its surroundings. Didn't attract anyone's attention at all. At this moment, after hearing Lin Chen's order, he transformed back into his original form and flew in the air. The body is huge and the aura is so strong that even people outside the city lord's palace can clearly feel it. Looking in disbelief at the black-red flame beast above the city lord's mansion. I've come back from the Hidden Dragon Valley, and I can still see it. Many people who have been to Hidden Dragon Valley before recognize Long Qi. Unexpectedly, this terrifying beast actually entered Yancheng. No one knows what happened. Because they couldn't enter the city lord's mansion at all. Bai Zizai and Hong Tianxi were standing on the ground with their legs trembling. The breath of the dragon. It's Shenlong. No, it's not the same as Shenlong. But the breath is definitely not wrong. At least it's a dragon comparable to the Beast King level. How can this be? Bai Zizai and Hong Tianxi's eyes widened, completely losing their pride as a Qi Sea realm powerhouse. There is just endless fear and horror. But Long Qi was not in the mood to pay attention to their thoughts. The moment Lin Chen called it, he knew what to do. Dragon breath was not used. After all, we are in the city lord's mansion. It was extremely powerful to begin with, and it also practiced the Long Yan Bo Ruo Gong given by Lin Chen. It can be said that its own heart is extremely expanded now. Know how powerful you are. If this breath of dragon breath goes down, the entire city lord's mansion will probably be burned down. And the most powerful thing about the dragon clan is not just the dragon breath. There is also their powerful physique and the most primitive animal nature. If the dragon clan is a beast, then it is the real king of beasts. Then an extremely shocking scene occurred. After taking several bites, Dragon Claw went up and grabbed them. Including Bai Zizai and Hong Tianxi, 2.5 steps of the Qi Si realm, and more than a dozen Shantian Zochan perfection were eaten and crushed to death by Long Qi. Crushed to death. There was no resistance at all. In other words, they have no power to resist at all. It's as simple as a human killing a few ants. The psychological shadow caused by this scene will never be erased by those who are alive. I truly saw the power of the dragon clan. Could it really be a divine dragon? It's just a dragon that looks different. That must be it. Such a powerful aura cannot be possessed by monsters. Dugu Tonghai heard what Bai Zizai and Hong Tianxi said before they died. At this moment, my heart can't help but have a lot of mixed feelings. He couldn't help but look at Lin Chen, who was standing there calmly. Who is he? Is it really the Lin Chen I know? Shenlong. It's actually his mount. Dugu Tonghai could not breathe smoothly. But then there was also a burst of joy. The stronger Lin Chen is, the better Dugu Wanqing will be. The better his daughter is, the better he will be as a father. But he knew in his heart that he would have to be more careful with Lin Chen in the future. Among those still alive is Xie Dongtian from Feiyan Pavilion. At this moment, my heart couldn't help but shout, "Great! Great! Fortunately, I didn't go there just now. Otherwise I will be the one who dies." There are also a few other remaining Shantian Zochan sect leaders. At this moment, I also felt a burst of joy and secretly rejoiced. If it weren't for their inner tangle just now, they would have met the same fate as Bai Zizai and Hong Tianxi. I was just shocked and confused. Such a terrifying behemoth, most likely a behemoth from the Dragon Clan, actually called Lin Chen a second-level master of the true Yuan realm. It's true that the heifer went to the big bed and completely confused them. They don't understand, but they are not stupid. I also know that although I haven't taken action against them yet, it doesn't mean that they are safe. Almost at the same moment, Xie Dongtian was the leader, followed closely by the others. Plop, plop, plop. There were several ground-shaking sounds. They all knelt in front of Lin Chen and lowered their heads. He kowtowed to Lin Chen repeatedly. "Senior, have mercy on me. It's us who were blinded by lard. We were blind and didn't dare to have any thoughts about the immortal body. Senior, please have mercy on me." Xie Dongtian worked the hardest. He was afraid that if he didn't knock down fast enough, he would be slapped to death by Long Qi with a casual paw. Others thought so too. Kowtow constantly. It's like a competition, one after another. Lin Chen was also speechless. Said, "It seems that you still have some conscience just now, but you are not moved by the blood of the immortal body. Anyway, because you are more honest than others, I will spare you this time, go away." Hearing this, Xie Dongtian and others breathed a sigh of relief. Just stop. But still kneeling there, his forehead was red and swollen, and the ground was cracked. One can imagine how scared they were just now with their cultivation levels like this. Some people were planning to flee this place quickly, but Xie Dongtian's words made them all stop temporarily. "Senior, thank you and never give up. I am willing to surrender to my senior, follow you forever and ever, and serve for my senior." Xie Dongtian is not stupid. Although this time is a huge crisis. But if you make good use of it, it might be a big opportunity. Although Lin Chen appears to be at the second level of the true essence realm. But to have such an obedient dragon mount, a fool also knows that this kind of thing should not be taken at face value. Lin Chen was either the young master of some super powerful force, or he was deliberately hiding his cultivation. No matter which one he is a big shot that is unattainable to him. As long as he can follow, he may be able to break through the half-step Qi Si realm cultivation that he has been unable to advance for many years. Xie Dongtian didn't want to miss this opportunity. By this time he had calmed down. The first thing to do is to swear to follow. Those who were leaving were slightly surprised when they heard Xie Dongtian's words. But then he reacted. Plop, plop, plop. He quickly knelt down and knelt beside Xie Dongtian. He kowtowed to Lin Chen again and again. We are also willing to follow our seniors in front of us and behind our horses. As long as seniors say a word, we will go up and down the mountain without hesitation. Senior, please accept us. This scene is undoubtedly extremely shocking. Dugu Tonghai and Uncle Fu were in a daze for a while. A half-step Qi Si realm, plus a bunch of strong men from the innate Zochan realm, just knelt in front of Lin Chen. He kept kowtowing and begging Lin Chen, a young man at the second level of the true Yuan realm, to accept him. If you don't accept it, you will kowtow and die here. No one else would be shocked if they saw it. But Dugu Tonghai feels natural. He knew Lin Chen better than anyone else. Know that these people made the best decisions. As long as these people follow Lin Chen, even if they just drink soup, they will have a place in Tianlong continent in the future. They will be thankful for their decision today. If it weren't for Dugu Wanqing's relationship, Dugu Tonghai might be like these people at this moment. No, he will go further. He hugged Lin Chen's thigh to make Lin Chen accept him. Even if Lin Chen pressed him to the ground and rubbed him countless times, he would not give up. He was just lucky and gave birth to a good daughter. Thinking of this, Dugu Tonghai looked at Dugu Wanqing. There was relief and excitement on his face. Perhaps the luckiest thing in my life is giving birth to such a precious daughter. To Dugu Wanqing, Dugu Tonghai suddenly felt a feeling of gratitude in his heart. But Dugu Wanqing didn't know that, and she was slightly shocked when she saw the scene in front of her. But I soon figured out what was going on and felt proud of myself for having such a master. Xie Dongtian also squinted at the people around him and cursed in his mind. These guys follow the trend very quickly, they are just a bunch of losers. After that, I can only follow up and perform even harder. He kept kowtowing to Lin Chen. The ground shook a little. The sound made Lin Chen have a headache. But also think about it. These people are very strong. It is the top force within 1,000 miles around Yancheng. Because Yancheng is relatively remote, it is at the edge of the city under Xie Dongtian. So it is close to all these big forces. In fact, the combined cities and forces of these people are enough to cover a radius of 5,000 miles around Yan City. It can be said that it is not a huge force. With these forces joining the Lin family, he will have the final say around everything from now on. It's also much more convenient to go out. However, Lin Chen did not refuse. Since these people are also interested, then he wouldn't be polite. Anyway, just give them some benefits, that's what you deserve. Thinking of this, Lin Chen raised his hand slightly. Okay, stop knocking, it's too noisy, I will accept you. Hearing Lin Chen's words, Xie Dongtian and others were stunned. Then there was a burst of ecstasy in my heart. They knew that this time they were holding on to each other. Being able to have a dragon clan that is at least as good as a beast king as a subordinate, Lin Chen, no matter how powerful he is or not, is something that they will never be able to reach in their lifetime. However, don't call me senior anymore. It will make me look old. Call me young master instead. Lin Chen continued. Every time I am regarded as a senior, I always feel that I am much older. How could Xie Dongtian and the others care about these titles? Naturally, Lin Chen would just say whatever he said. Immediately everyone nodded like chickens pecking at rice. What the young master said is, "Thank you, young master." Xie Dongtian and others prepared to kowtow again. He was directly stopped by Lin Chen. He said, "Don't kneel down, get up. Since you have followed me, I will also give you some benefits. You just need to be loyal to me with peace of mind in the future. If you dare to have any second thoughts, I will let you understand what it means to have the King of Hell ask for your life. Give both grace and power." Lin Chen agreed in advance. If these people dare to betray, he will not let any of them go. Needless to say, they didn't dare to have such an idea. As long as Lin Chen lives for one day, he won't dare to give them 100 courages. They all nodded in agreement. When they heard that Lin Chen was going to give them benefits, their bodies were shocked and their hearts were ecstatic. The benefits provided by Lin Chen would probably exceed their imagination. They had this hunch. Everyone immediately looked at him expectantly. Lin Chen was not polite and glanced at the group of people. Finally, he looked at Xie Dongtian and said, "Then I'll start with you. Stand still and don't move." Xie Dongtian immediately obeyed and stood still. After that, Zhang Feiyuan's figure flashed and appeared in front of Xie Dongtian's shocked eyes, which also surprised Xie Dongtian. This is not the speed of a second-level True Yuan realm. He didn't even see it clearly. After that, Lin Chen pointed at his body. At the same time, a voice came out, "Run your own skills." Xie Dongtian immediately complied. Not long after, Lin Chen stopped. Xie Dongtian looked at Lin Chen in shock. His eyes almost bulged. Just now, Lin Chen actually directly modified the operation route of his technique. He originally practiced low-level earth-level techniques. But now it has been directly upgraded to the prefecture-level top grade. That's right, it was directly upgraded by 2 levels. In Tianlong continent, the most precious thing is undoubtedly the technique. Even those who are innately powerful, most of them only practice low-level earth-level techniques. Many innate experts even practice Xuanji Kung Fu. A high-grade earth-level technique is enough for countless powerful forces to compete for it. And it's the kind of robbery that will cause bloodshed. Xie Dongtian didn't know how Lin Chen did it, but he knew he did the right thing this time. And it's the best decision I've ever made in my life. If he had just walked away, he would have missed this great opportunity in his life. Thank you so much, Master. I thank Dongtian for having nothing to repay in this life. I am willing to work for you all my life. If you ask me to go east, I will never go west. If you ask me to eat shit, I will never talk nonsense. How could Lin Chen be so perverted? Hearing this, he quickly stopped and said, "Okay, stop talking nonsense and stand aside for now." Lin Chen couldn't help but shake his head. If he wanted to, he could even directly upgrade Xie Dongtian's skill level to heaven level. Since he obtained the 5th skill, his knowledge of the skill has become deeper and deeper, and he has gained more experience. But Lin Chen didn't do this. Prefectural level top grade is enough. These people temporarily took refuge in him, which could not guarantee what would happen in the future. He wasn't completely reassured yet. Naturally, they will not pass on their own skills. But this is already a great opportunity for them. Let them wake up happily from their dreams. Behind Xie Dongtian are the leaders and leaders of the Shantian Dzogchen sect. They were also looking at Lin Chen with trembling bodies and excitement. Although they didn't know what happened, they clearly felt that Xie Dongtian's momentum had greatly improved. That's a huge amount of improvement. It's like he has become a different person. Although he is still at the original half-step Qi level, he feels that he has become more powerful by more than 1 level. Just when they were still excited about this, boom. For a moment, Xie Dongtian's cultivation level was directly promoted to the early stage of Qi realm. Completely enter the Qi realm. He has practiced this step for nearly 100 years. I thought this life might be hopeless. But today, it was because Lin Chen upgraded his skills for him. He saved who knows how many years of effort. Xie Dongtian was able to practice all the way to the half-step Qi realm with the help of low-level earth-level skills, and his talent was needless to say. When he was young, he was a very talented person. The only difference is the technique. But every earth-level skill can cause a river of blood. It's too hard to get. Even he can't help it. You can't blame him for being so excited just now. And now I'm even more excited. If Lin Chen hadn't asked him to stop talking nonsense, he could have held Lin Chen's thigh and talked all day and night. Even so, he was too excited to control himself. The powerful aura and cultivation that emanated from his whole body made those innate Dzogchen sect leaders envious of him. I wish I couldn't feel the same way. This is the Qi realm. How many people have an innate realm that they have dreamed of all their lives? It was accomplished right in front of their eyes. Xie Dongtian's heart also swelled, and he stood up straight and looked at these people with disdain. This immediately made these people feel itchy with hatred. But I dare not say more. They all looked at Lin Chen with fiery eyes. Master, that look in his eyes gave Lin Chen goosebumps. He immediately stretched out his hand and said, "Come one by one, you will all benefit from this." After hearing this, the leaders of the Shantian Dzogchen sect felt relieved. Standing there anxiously waiting in line, Lin Chen was very fast, helping people improve their skills level easily. After a while, he helped these people improve their skills to the upper level of the earth level. It can be said that the road to cultivation will be smooth in the future. It won't be long before he can break through the Qi realm. Those with good talent have already broken through to the half-step Qi realm. He also showed the same expression as Xie Dongtian. He looked at the leader who was at the same level as him again, with deep disdain in his eyes. They finally understood why Xie Dongtian was so excited just now. At this moment, everyone including Xie Dongtian was secretly thankful. Fortunately, I didn't really think that Lin Chen was at the second level of the True Yuan realm and followed by Zizai and the others. Otherwise, there is no need for Long Qi to speak. Lin Chen can take care of them all by himself. Too strong. Help people upgrade their skills. Never heard of such a thing. He knelt down and thanked Lin Chen again. They all swore poisonous oaths to serve Lin Chen for the rest of their lives. Lin Chen waved his hand. Stop for a moment. Since I just helped you upgrade your skills, let's consolidate them first. Yes, yes, the young master said yes. Everyone, including Xie Dongtian, responded repeatedly. Simply sit cross-legged on the ground and start running the upgraded technique. Thoroughly consolidate and familiarize yourself with the exercises. At this time, Dugu Tonghai and the others were stunned. Although last time I saw Lin Chen helping Wu Zhengming upgrade his skills. But what kind of cultivation level does Wu Zhengming have? It's just the True Yuan realm. Are these all suzerain level figures at the lowest level of innate Zochan? It's not the same level at all. The shock to their hearts can also be imagined. They didn't dare to disturb Lin Chen just now. Seeing Lin Chen stop at this moment, Dugu Tonghai silently looked at Long Qi, who had extinguished the flames on his body and turned back to the look he had seen for the first time before, and swallowed hard. Then he looked at Lin Chen and said, Master Lin, from now on I, Dugu Tonghai, will follow Master Lin's lead. These big shots, including his immediate boss Xie Dongtian, all became Lin Chen's subordinates. He alone in the sea is nothing. Even with Dugu Wanqing's identity, he didn't dare to be presumptuous. Hear this. Lin Chen shook his head. You don't have to be so polite. Wanqing is my apprentice, and we can be considered a family. Yes, Master Lin is right, but what I said will not change. From now on, Tonghai will do his best to handle everything Master Lin orders. Dugu Tonghai felt excited. The weight of Lin Chen's words was clearly telling others. He is a member of the same family as Lin Chen. Even these powerful people who are stronger than him will probably have to treat him with respect when they see him in the future. Indeed it is. After hearing Lin Chen's words, Xie Dongtian and others were consolidating their skills while looking at Dugu Tonghai with envy. From now on, it's Big Brother. They may not be able to come into contact with Lin Chen in the future, but Dugu Tonghai is definitely in the City Lord's mansion. Just have a good relationship with Dugu Tonghai. Not only can he please Lin Chen, but he can also please the immortal body Dugu Wanqing. They all know what to do. Master, that mount of yours is so powerful. Is it really a dragon? Dugu Wanqing asked curiously. Lin Chen looked at Long Qi. Although it has mutated, it is not recognized by the dragon clan. But it should count, right? Even if it doesn't count now, Lin Chen will let it count later. Since he followed me, he performed well. Lin Chen naturally wanted to cover Long Qi. Thinking like this, Lin Chen nodded slightly. Well, it's a divine dragon. Hiss. I heard Lin Chen admit it personally. Everyone gasped. Although this divine dragon looks a bit weird and looks too ferocious and cruel, since Lin Chen said it is, then it is. Even Long Qi trembled and looked at Lin Chen. There was a feeling of emotion in his eyes. After so many years, Lin Chen was the first person besides its parents to admit that it was a divine dragon. It also made Long Qi more determined to follow Lin Chen in the future. Dugu Wanqing also covered her mouth in surprise. Master, you are so awesome. Dugu Wanqing is sincere. His admiration for Lin Chen was even greater. Lin Chen was a little embarrassed when he saw this scene. But I had already decided to let Long Qi follow Xiaozi to protect her. So I didn't say anything about leaving Long Qi behind. And at worst, I can catch 2 more for Dugu Wanqing in the future. What's more, he plans to give Dugu Wanqing many good things. Thinking of this, Lin Chen also stretched his hands to his waist. He casually took 2 out of a large number of space bags on his waist and handed them to Dugu Wanqing. Dugu Wanqing suddenly showed a confused look and did not take it immediately. Instead, he asked in confusion, "Master, what is this? Why did you give me 2 bags?" Dugu Tonghai and Uncle Fu were also confused for a while. But soon, Dugu Tonghai's body suddenly shook. Pointing at Lin Chen's waist, he asked in surprise, "Master Lin, are these all space bags?" Dugu Tonghai naturally knew about space bags, but he had never seen so many. Not even himself. After all, it was only in the past few days that he ascended to the innate realm. How could he have had the opportunity to come into contact with such a good thing before? This kind of thing is standard equipment for strong people in the innate realm and above. Some innately powerful people don't even have this kind of space bag. He worked hard for half his life but never got one. But Lin Chen casually took out 2 of them. It doesn't look empty yet. What's even more frightening is that Lin Chen's waist looks like it has a lot of weight. If this is the case, Dugu Tonghai feels like he is going crazy. Lin Chen currently has hundreds of space bags in total. But little did he know that compared to the treasures inside, this space bag was nothing but rubbish. Dugu Tonghai still didn't know how much he was watching the sky from a well. After hearing what Dugu Tonghai said, Dugu Wanqing and Uncle Fu also looked at Lin Chen in shock. Hoped to get his answer. Until he saw Lin Chen nodding slightly. The 3 of them felt that their worldview had collapsed in an instant. Then, how many space bags are there? Lin Chen can hardly put it on his waist. Even Xie Dongtian, who had already consolidated his skills at this time, and all the Shantian Dzogchen sect masters looked at this scene in shock. Although they also have space bags, there are so many people in one sect. Each elder must be equipped with one. Basically, 3 of them are considered a lot for a sect leader level figure. Unless there are special circumstances, other elders' space bags will be collected. But there are only a dozen or so sects in total. Just over 20 at most. Space stones are too precious. A little powder can be sold for a sky-high price. If it weren't for the fact that the sect still had some foundation, it would be enshrined by countless cities every year. I'm afraid I can't afford a space bag either. You can imagine how exaggerated Lin Chen's space bag looks. Everyone couldn't help but swallow their saliva. When Lin Chen saw this scene, he noticed that these people were drooling with envy. I don't know what they are thinking. He doesn't have many things, except that he has a lot of space stones. The entire space stone before was now placed in his space bag. Since these people were following him, Lin Chen was not stingy. Anyway, just giving them a little bit would be enough for them to last for hundreds or thousands of years. Just throw that large piece of space stone out of the space bag at will. Boom! There was a loud roar in an instant. The whole ground seemed to be shaking. The mass of the space stone is extremely large, which makes the space stone also extremely heavy. It is completely different from an ordinary stone. Although it is already very big now, it is dozens of times heavier than ordinary stones. It is no less than the weight of a small mountain. And there is no doubt that when everyone saw the huge space stone in front of them, the air became quiet for a few seconds. Then there were bursts of gasping sounds. This piece shouldn't be all space stones, right? With my many years of experience, it seems that it is really. The young master is truly a heavenly being. We are really with the right person. We can take out treasures at will. From now on, if the young master asks me to go east, I will never go west. Ahem. Lin Chen almost choked to death. He glanced at the old sect master with a gray beard who spoke last. He shook his head and said, "You can cut as many pieces as you want. Consider it a meeting gift from me." Thank you, master. Xie Dongtian was also excited at this moment. He danced with excitement like children with all the innate Dzogchen masters. It goes without saying how much this is. Any piece of it you get can be passed down for thousands of years. They all went up and started cutting the space stone. Although Lin Chen let them cut as they pleased, they were very measured. Just cut off a piece of space stone as big as your head, which is more than enough for the sect to last 1 or 2,000 years. After that, they put it away carefully. With these space stones, Xie Dongtian and others were stunned when they looked at the space bag on Lin Chen's waist. It turns out that the young master has kept a low profile. Those are just for fun. At this moment, he was not coveting Lin Chen's space bag. Take these space stones back and they can refine them at will. At that time, Each elder will receive 10. For nothing else. Just arrogant. Even Dugu Tonghai was so moved that he swallowed his saliva. After rubbing his hands, his face turned red, but he still lowered his face and licked his face and asked, Master Lin, can I cut a piece of it? How could Dugu Tonghai not be moved? He dreams of having a space bag. It's just that neither strength nor conditions allowed it before. But now it's on my lap. Don't want it for nothing. I believe Lin Chen won't mind either. But having received such a great favor from Lin Chen, Dugu Tonghai was still a little cautious. Lin Chen thought it was something. Seeing Dugu Tonghai's tangled look, he casually made a knife with his hand and made a light stroke. A space stone as big as a millstone was cut off by Lin Chen. He threw it directly to Dugu Tonghai and said, You can take this piece. It shouldn't be a problem if you use it for 5,000 years. Thank you, Master Lin. Dugu Tonghai knew this was not bragging. Having such a space stone is even enough to recruit many innate experts. It is extremely difficult for many innate strong people to obtain a space bag if they do not join the sect's strength. Lin Chen conveniently threw an empty space bag to Dugu Tonghai. Dugu Tonghai thanked him again and quickly put away the space stone as big as a millstone, for fear that someone would snatch it. Just after putting away the space stone, Xie Dongtian and a group of Shantian Dzogchen sect leaders suddenly thought of a question. Even Dugu Tonghai reacted immediately. They all looked at Dugu Wanqing. Even the random things given to them are so good. As Lin Chen's personal disciple, the space bag given to Dugu Wanqing was definitely not empty. What kind of good things must be in there? With doubts and expectations, everyone stared at Dugu Wanqing. She was also a little embarrassed. It was Dugu Tonghai who whispered, Wanqing, look at what your master gave you. Let Dad open his eyes too. Dugu Tonghai was also curious. Well, okay Dad, let me take a look. How could Dugu Wanqing not be curious? She knew that what Lin Chen gave her would definitely not be bad. When a space bag is opened even slightly, things are constantly taken out from inside. What kind of stone is this? The color is actually red. It's such a rich spiritual energy. Are these elixirs? And this kind of grass looks ordinary, but it's also a magical medicine. Dugu Wanqing was talking as she came out with something. Before her immortal body awakened, Dugu Wanqing was just a young qi refining monk. I've been staying at the city lord's mansion for a long time. He is also young, so naturally he does not have as much knowledge as others. She had no idea how much excitement she brought to Xie Dongtian and the others with every word she said. It felt like my heart was about to be pierced by Dugu Wanqing's words. The top refining material fire crystal. I am not blind. Oh my god, there are so many elixirs, and they are all high-grade elixirs. There are even many top-level elixirs. Is this the elixir nest being looted? Ambergris. It's actually ambergris. Oh my god, there is such a thing in the world. His saliva was dripping on the ground. This is how Xie Dongtian and the others feel. Compared with the small piece of space stone in their hands, what Lin Chen gave Dugu Wanqing was nothing special. Holding the treasured space stone, I felt like a poor beggar at this moment. Dugu Tonghai's head stopped working at this moment and he was completely confused. Everyone looked at Lin Chen's full space bags. I wonder if this is all true. They really guessed it right. But Lin Chen naturally didn't bother to explain. Dugu Tonghai, on the other hand, saw that his daughter didn't even know these things and kept irritating Xie Dongtian and the others. He explained in a low voice. Dugu Wanqing was stunned for a while after hearing this. At the same time, I was moved. Lin Chen gave too much. Ding, congratulations to the host and the elemental immortal body's affinity +10. Ding, congratulations to the host and the elemental fairy body for reaching 100 affinity, and you will get the affinity completion reward 9 Dragon Shuangwang Furnace. The system prompt sounded suddenly. Only Lin Chen heard it. Lin Chen was also delighted. The affinity level of 100 is finally reached and the reward is obtained. Immediately he checked the system panel. I know how abnormal this 9 Dragons Shuangwang Furnace is. There is no doubt that this furnace is used to refine elixirs. But it is far more than just this role. Zhulong Shuangwang Furnace. It can collect all the strange fires in the world and store them in it. It can be used for attacks. It has the function of automatic alchemy. When making alchemy, the formation will be activated, directly improving the quality of the elixir 1,000 times. In other words, this 9 dragons Xuanwang furnace can not only absorb all the flames in the world, but also has its own space inside, which can also be stored. Theoretically, there is no upper limit to the amount of flames stored. And these flames can even be used to attack directly. What's even more terrifying is that when refining the elixir, the quality of the elixir is directly improved 1,000 times. In other words, as long as a person with no knowledge of alchemy has hands and throws the herbs in according to the formula, the Julong Xuanwang furnace will automatically refine the elixir. Moreover, the quality of the elixir will automatically increase 1,000 times. It's very easy to use, and also very abnormal. It can be said that having such a 9 dragons Xuanwang furnace is equivalent to mastering thousands or even tens of thousands of top alchemists at the same time. And it can attack and defend. A top-notch artifact with absolutely no shortcomings. Even Lin Chen was overjoyed to get such a good thing. It is indeed an affinity reward. It's really scary. At this time, Dugu Wanqing was silently moved in her heart. Lin Chen was too willing to give up on her. He gave so many good things. She didn't even know how to repay him. Master. You are so kind. In the end, Dugu Wanqing could only say this shyly. Then he also noticed a small stove on Lin Chen's palm. Surrounded by 9 dragon patterns, it looks like an extremely simple stove. On the surface, there's nothing unusual about it. But the thing that can be in Lin Chen's hands must not be ordinary things. Others noticed, too. Think so too. After all, everything Lin Chen has taken out so far has been an earth-shattering event. A good thing that will attract countless big forces to compete for. This seems to be a consensus. Lin Chen didn't show off his stove too much. Freely enter the system space. Lin Chen discovered that the good things given by the system might be of too high a level. It simply cannot be put into this ordinary space bag. Otherwise, he wouldn't have held it in his hand just now. Moreover, the Julong Xuanwang furnace itself has a very large space. It also conflicts with the space bag. It's not something this small space bag can accommodate. Put away the Kowloon Xuanwang stove. Looking at Dugu Wanqing, Lin Chen said with a smile, "You can take what I give you with peace of mind. Does a master need a reason to treat his apprentice well? Just take these things and practice hard from now on." "Well, thank you, master." Dugu Wanqing excitedly pinned the 2 space bags to her waist. Xie Dongtian and all the Shantian Dzogchen sect masters looked at it with great enthusiasm. If it weren't for being Lin Chen's apprentice, he would also have an immortal body. They all wanted to grab it. Lin Chen noticed that this scene was quite funny. However, there are already many things given to them, which are enough for them to use for a lifetime. Lin Chen didn't intend to continue giving them these. But he still said, "I have plenty of these things. As long as you behave well in the future, I can give you a lot at will. And these things in my hands are just rubbish, young master. There are plenty of better things." Hear this. Xie Dongtian and the others were completely in awe. As long as you follow Lin Chen from now on, why can't you show off your power in Tianlong continent? Master is mighty, everyone shouted. Just after these people finished shouting, a guard from the city lord's palace hurried over to summon him. Seeing the scene in front of me, I was stunned for a moment. I felt the powerful aura on Xie Dongtian and the others, and my body couldn't help but tremble slightly. Don't know what's going on here. But he quickly came to his senses, knelt down on one knee and bowed in front of Dugu Tonghai and shouted, "Lord City Lord, Lin Zhenshin, the Lin family master is here and is already on the way. I will report first." When Dugu Tonghai heard this, his body suddenly shook. He already respected Lin Zhenshin very much before. Even his status was downgraded. But now after what happened today, he knew how to treat the Lin family in the future. Especially Lin Zhenshin is the old head of the Lin family. Lin Chen's biological grandfather. Thinking of this, Dugu Tonghai immediately said seriously, "Quick, come with me to greet you." Then he thought of something and quickly looked at Lin Chen and said, "Young Master Lin, there is no need to move. Just leave this small matter to me. Wanqing, stay with your master well." Dugu Wanqing nodded. After that, Dugu Tonghai hurriedly took Uncle Fu and the guards to meet Lin Zhenshin. However, Xie Dongtian and the sect leaders were also sensitive to some problems. Lin Chen's surname is Lin. Dugu Tonghai behaved like this again and couldn't wait to greet this man named Lin Zhenshan. And he also said something to Lin Chen. Any fool can guess that this so-called Lin Zhenshan must have an inseparable relationship with Lin Chen. What's more, they are not fools. Immediately, Xie Dongtian pulled Dugu Tonghai and asked with a flattering smile on his face, "Brother Tonghai, who is this young master Lin Zhenshan? Tell us quickly." A half-step Qi realm, no, now he is a strong man in the Qi realm. He actually spoke to himself so politely. Dugu Tonghai never dared to think about it before. He knew it was because his daughter was Lin Chen's apprentice. He also adapted to his own identity. He nodded and said, "This old patriarch Lin Zhenshan is Master Lin's grandfather. If you want to behave well, then come with me to greet him. If you can please this old patriarch, you will do the same in the future." Upon hearing this, Xie Dongtian and the others were all shaken. So amazing. Master Lin's grandfather, how strong must he be? It's scary to think about. This time they really got it wrong. But that didn't stop them from nodding immediately and following Dugu Tonghai out of the other courtyard. As soon as he arrived at the door of the other courtyard, Lin Zhenshan's hearty laughter came. "Brother Tonghai, what happened at home today?" There was a lot of commotion, and I was also curious, so I came over to take a look. Lin Zhenshan naturally saw such a big thing happening in the city. Think about the relationship between Dugu Wanqing and Lin Chen. Lin Zhenshan was also a little worried, so he came over to take a look. If it had been in the past, he would have been stopped at the door of the city lord's mansion. After all, the order given to the city lord's mansion today is that no one is allowed to enter. But those guards weren't stupid either. Who is Lin Zhenshan? He is the old head of the Lin family. With Lin Chen's status, they invited Lin Zhenshan in immediately. After Lin Zhenshan finished speaking with a smile, his body trembled suddenly. They looked at Xie Dongtian and others in disbelief. When I was talking before, I saw these people following Dugu Tonghai but didn't pay much attention. But if you take a closer look, aren't these the superpowers flying over Yancheng today? And being so close, the powerful aura makes your eyes hurt just by looking at it. But these people are actually following Dugu Tonghai. He also acts like a younger brother. It was difficult for him to understand. When did Dugu Tonghai become so awesome? Lin Zhenshan was surprised, and how could Xie Dongtian and the others not be surprised? They could clearly see Lin Zhenshan's cultivation. It's just the first level of true Yuan realm. Lower than Lin Chen. Leave them a little wind-tangled. Could it be that the young master's family all appear to be low cultivation, but are actually terrifying monsters? I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.